morning, everybody. Welcome to the live show. I hope you all had a great day locking in some profits. I know we called basically exactly what was going to happen. Q puts and oil going up. That's what happened today. So let's see what's going to happen tomorrow. It might be similar. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. How are you guys? It looks like the feed on X is actually working tonight. We had an issue last night. I don't know what was going on, but it looks like it's working. So there we go. And there's your heat map right there. Wow, look at that thing. That's red. Oxy was running up pretty good. We were talking about that this morning in the old Discord. There you go. And it continued its way up afterwards. So that was running. And then, of course, your USO right there was cruising along right there all the way up to 118. Look at that thing. Did it get to that resistance? That's at 120. You know it's getting right there. So that's another $2 it's going to run up for. And a couple other ones. That UCO right here is a 2-time oil, and that's running up. That's up a little bit more in the after hours. That's looking pretty good. SCO is another one, ultra short. Oh, this is ultra short. Well, you can play it the opposite way. I didn't even realize that was the ultra short, but I had it written down, and that's the ultra short. So that one's dipping down, and we'll keep an eye on it for when it wants to curl back up, as a matter of fact, because it'll give us a good idea of what's going on. So there you go. And let's look at NUG and JNUG. They're pulling back, and so is gold. So, you know, the gold miners are. Gold's pulling back. Silver is even pulling back. It looked a little bit better than gold, but look at gold right there, just getting destroyed. There's silver. And like I said, it did look a little bit better than gold today, but it is pulling back right there as well. So they're all pulling back. Bitcoin's still at 70K though, go figure. And Ethereum's still over 2,000. It's at 2,073. It's Solana's at 86. And Ripple's at $1.38. Stellar's at 16 cents. And Cardano's at 26 cents. We'll take a quick look at it. They're based off the stock queue prices right there. And like I said, it's not looking so bad. I'm actually surprised. I don't know who exactly is hedging on the war with crypto, but it seems to be running up and in a good channel right here. So things are looking positive, I would say, for crypto. If there's ever a time you think it would be really pulling back when everything else is pulling back for the most part, like your gold, silver, hedges, things like that, you would think crypto would be, but it looks pretty good right here. So you might want to keep an eye on some of the crypto things. And then again, we can look at BMNR right here. I know that was down today, but we'll keep an eye on it. Pew, they actually had earnings today. It was up a little bit, but I would be very careful of that. That's obviously one of the Trump family, Trump kids companies involved. And then your ABTC, American Bitcoin, that's another one of their companies. And then CPL right here, they're involved with that. And PSQH, they're involved with all kinds of stuff over there. And then you had your SBET. This is going to get set up, I think. If crypto continues to look good, these things should start looking pretty good. That UPXI is that Solana one, and that's pulling back right there with the market. So there you are with them. And then, of course, Riot. Mara was up today. Riot was down, and CleanSpark doesn't look so bad right here, to be honest with you. You can see it's down, but it doesn't look so bad, and I say that because it looked like it wanted to bounce off of that line right there and possibly roll off the MACD. That's what it looked like today anyway. So I was just basing it off of that. I had to kind of look at it to see how it ended, but that's what it looked like earlier. I know that because I was looking at them, and there you go with them guys. So like I said, crypto holding up and then everything else kind of pulling back. So let's go through the market, see what our best opportunities are going to be for tomorrow. Let's go through ONDS. That one looks good, guys. I'm telling you, I've been saying this. ONDS, they had big news with Palantir and Worldview to integrate something. Palantir AI, I don't even know what's going on, but they all had news, and this thing looks great right there, guys. I would say ONDS could continue to be like one of the top picks right there because it looks so good. Galaxy was down today and pulling back a little bit. ASTS was all over the place. It did pull back. It ran up a little bit there this morning. I actually caught that pop. If you were in the old Discord, I called it out there, and we actually had it down here running up. And then I mentioned it again down here. I posted it inside the VIP thing. I should have posted it on mine. And it ran up and then pulled back a little bit. But that was a nice little run up too, from like 84 to like 90. Yeah, it was pretty nice run up there today. And now it's back at 87. I'll tell you what, though, been swinging this thing all week. It still it has that look right there, like it wants to roll off. It may very well possibly try to roll off that MACD tomorrow and try to run And yeah, AGH, there you go, Laptop Travel. That's a new Trump one apparently too. This was like a golf course company, and now apparently they're a drone company. This thing was running up pretty big today, as you can see. And let's see, it was running up at the end of the day. I know that because we were looking at that as well. And like I said, it was a golf. I know we've looked at it before. It was definitely a golf company, like golf course or something. I don't know. But apparently now they're a drone company or something, or they're merging into a drone company. But yeah, you can see they had country clubs and stuff. And I guess Trump's getting involved in this company. I have no idea. Apparently, what did you say? New Trump drone company merger from a golf company. Look for a major U.S. government contract coming. Yeah, I would say so. And there you go. And Laptop Travel had the 594 Q puts right there. So you did that one today. So yeah, like I said, I said in the night note last night and this morning, Q puts and oil going up, and Oxy was up and to the right today, guys. I mean, this thing was cruising right along. As a matter of fact, look at it, droop right there. And USO was not bad either, I must say. Look at this thing. It was pretty strong right there. Took a little pullback, but then ran up even higher at the end of the day. So there you go with them calls for you guys. And let's continue through, because this one right here, it was the UMAC day. It's been UMAC week, honestly. Look at it. The last 3 days, this thing's been blasting. Yeah, I think it keeps some momentum there tomorrow still. So you keep an eye on that thing tomorrow. And that is UMAC. And yeah, it's looking pretty good right there. That's the drone one that's really been cruising along right now. And Redwire, not looking so bad right there. We'll see what it wants to do, if it wants to try to get set up. I thought Rocket Lab was trying to get set up, and it's been dipping down right here. So we'll have to take a look at that one tomorrow. And then your nuclear right here was pulling back a little bit, but they don't look so bad. SMR was down a little bit. And we'll see. They could be a little dip and rip. That Oklo was pushing along. Well, you know what? It's going to have to wait until it's earnings in next week. So has earnings on St. Patty's Day for Oklo. So we'll have a little St. Patty's Day party, an Oklo earnings party, and we'll see if this trend line can get down here. That thing actually could be popping next week on its earnings. And what is St. Patty's Day's next Tuesday already? How crazy is that, guys? That's pretty wild right there. And let's see what that EOSE was up to. EOSE was down today. I know that. And it's just kind of hanging out down there, not getting through the MACD. Iron looked good, and then it did dip down today. So that didn't keep its momentum. And it was kind of, it was over to 20 yesterday, even closed. And it was just kind of bouncing around. It still might not look too bad right there, but it was kind of just hanging out today. And then your Carmel Critical Metals right here was pulling back as well. I know USAR was pulling back. MP was definitely pulling back too. And like I said, USAR was pulling back, UAMY. And let's see, because a lot of times these guys like to pull back and then get ripping right away. They don't like to necessarily always dip down under the MACD. So we'll see. They could hit the 20, these trend lines, and get popping, and we'll catch them bad boys. And that's your UAMY right there. And here's your metal ones, and your 4U's, that energy fuels, and that's touching a good support line. So keep an eye for a bounce on that. ASPI's been good. That chemical company, it's still setting up. I think you still have some play on this ASPI right there. I know we've been talking about that as well in the Discord. And Burner right here was down pretty big. I saw this thing taking a huge dip, and we'll have to see. This thing's going down pretty good. And we'll definitely watch for that bottom, because, you know, I like that company. I like the product. It's really cool. And UAVS, I guess nobody uses Burner right now when you got a real war going on. You're not, although I mean, you could need to protect yourself, but I don't know if burn is going to be the solution right now for wartime. Anyway, UAVS, this one doesn't, I mean, it keeps looking good. It popped up the other day, and now it's just kind of running there. This UAVS, I was looking at this today, trying to get a gauge. I think it wants to run, but it just hasn't done it yet. So we'll have to watch out for that guy. It's a nice cheapie right there. And like I said, it's trying to get set up. It doesn't look bad at all. And then, of course, your light path right here. This was up a little bit and trying to bounce. We'll get through this MACD right here. I don't think so, guys. It has a lot of resistance there and more right there. So I'm not so sure Light Path gets through, but you could get a little play tomorrow on LPTH if you like that one. It's a pretty good one. Sometimes it runs pretty good. And then your light path, what the heck did I just type in? I have no idea. But LPTH right here. Oh, what the heck was I just looked at that? What was I? Oh, Carmen is what I was trying to get to. This was down pretty big right there. But KTOS, this one was looking pretty good actually. So keep an eye on this one. This one has that interesting look as well for KTOS. But yeah, Carmen was pulling back, had run up already. And then your SATS right here was down today, as you can see. And that's an interesting one, sitting on a nice trend line right there. It's pulling back below it, but we'll see if it can like hold itself up on SATS. And again, might not want to mess with it tomorrow, but looking at it for next week possibly. And there's your gush right here, oil and gas, and that's continued to run up today, and it looks like it wants to continue up a little bit more. So obviously your gush oil was down early this morning, and it did bounce back up. As you can see, it did close kind of green, and it was up right there. It came down. I know it came down at some point this afternoon, 12:30, and then it ran back up right there. So there you go with your boil. That's your natural gas one, and that doesn't look so bad. Like I said, it's hitting that 50. You could have a little pullback on it tomorrow. We'll see what it wants to do in the morning. And then RGTI was pulling back right here. Computer hardware and QUBT, that was dipping too. I thought QMCO was looking pretty good the other day, but it did take a nice little dip down towards that trend line, so keep an eye on that. And then of course your quantum Defiance Quantum One ETF, that was pulling back pretty good. RCAT, that one didn't look bad today, to be honest with you. It's up in the after hours. We'll see what RCAT wants to do. That one could be a decent one. IONQ was dipping down as well. And that QSI had pulled back right there. Remember, it recently ran up, and then it was just pulling back today. And then your Z space right here was down a little more. It's down to 19 cents right now. Look at that bad boy. And there you go. UNH was down, but I'll tell you what, MOH looked really good today. It was popping up here, not looking bad. This one could continue. Look at it at the end of the day. It was getting moving right there, and it was looking pretty good. So keep an eye on MOH right there. That could be a little momentum play on the healthcare side. I don't think Oscar was up. No, Oscar was down as well, and it was touching that trend line right there. So there you go, OSCR. And let me see what else is going on with the rest of our list. Mobilicom, this one was looking really good there today as well, Zach. So we'll have to see what this wants to do. I think they have a lot going on tomorrow, or some kind of news event. I don't really know, but it does look pretty good right there. That dip today might have been a great opportunity on Mobilicom, and I'd mentioned that one the last couple of days, setting up. Sinestech was running up today, had earnings afterwards, and then came straight down, and that one missed its earnings, or missed something. I forget what the heck they missed, but they definitely missed something. The full year revenue was up 20%. The I don't even know what did it net loss of $6.4 million overall. So there you go, something like that. I forget, but they missed on something. It definitely went down. That's all I know. And that is Sinestech right there. And then IMRX right here was pulling back pretty well today. So we'll watch for any dip action on that one too. And then here's your Chipotle right here, still dipping down real hard. And even Cracker Barrel right here was pulling back as well. And I don't know, Cracker Barrel could try to bounce there, but I'll tell you what, that Chipotle don't look so great right there. It's pulling back. It looks like it's going to get into the basement. It doesn't look like it necessarily wants to bounce. So maybe you play CMG on the way down tomorrow, possibly. Every time I say that, it looks like I think they bottom out and start bouncing back up. It's kind of crazy, but that's what it looks like at the moment for CMG. And then Plug Power, that one's trying to get set up still. I think that one's going to be a good one to plug away and try to run. QuantumScape was down today. QS, and another one just been beaten down. It's not necessarily dipping real hard, but it just has these jump arounds where it hasn't been popping yet. Let's put it that way. Rocket was down today too, Zach. This one dipped down pretty good, and we'll have to see how much further. I thought it was trying to make a base right here. I guess it is going to come down to your 14 area right there. We'll have to see how much lower it wants to come for rocket companies right there. So everything seems to be pulling back except Galt. Galt was running up again, and that thing looks pretty good, guys. So that GALT. Keep an eye on that bad boy right there. And what else is going on? Fun right here. I forgot where we were. Fun was up a little bit. It doesn't look that great, I don't think. And then play is at Dave and Buster's. I took it off the list because it just hasn't been looking good. And that's probably why, because it's been dipping down. But fun, not so bad. Grab's been dipping down. It was down today. And I think you're going to grab that one way cheaper right there. AMPX is pulling back. And this one could dip down a little bit. It is kind of an oil play. Just be careful. It could bounce back up real quick right there off the top, and then give you one more quick little bounce up. But that after that, it should be going down as well. And that's your AMPX right there. And let me see, the Viking was running up the other day. It was down a little bit today. And that one could try to run up some more. I'd have to look at that one tomorrow. And that's your VKTX right there, the good old Viking. And let's go ahead and look at our Noro one, Medical Technologies, and that's pulling back right now up in the after hours. It's just kind of hanging out, enjoying the crazy market, it looks like. So it's not really doing a whole lot, let's put it that way. But that's kind of good for it because the market's crazy and it's just maintaining itself, I would say. And in your UOKA, a couple penny ones, I saw this one pulling back there today. I took a look at it, and I don't know. I mean, the 20's coming down. It still doesn't even look that bad as it curled through, and it's still dragging. And the reason why it don't look bad is because it's dragging right there on your bottom. This is gonna probably tell me to sign in or do some claim it back. That's what I thought, because I was just out there working. Nope, wrong one, but oh well. They're all the same. UOKA right here. Yeah, it's like I said, it has like a green histogram. It doesn't look too bad curling up. I don't know. It could just get popping, Doge Mama 9. So keep an eye on that one, guys. And this JDZG, another one, that Jyad we've had on the list for a couple days. And the same situations, crawl through the MACD. Big old dip right there. Almost looked like a nice dip and rip situation. So we'll watch this one tomorrow, see what it wants to do. Maybe they have an offering or something. Maybe it just pops, but keep an eye on that if it looks good in the morning. And then KXIN right here is another one. I mean, holy cow, dipping down some more right there, but just jumping around, and look at it, just dragging that bottom. And a lot of times these ones, when the market don't look good, these small cap China ones can get popping. Now, the only crazy part is right now we're kind of battling with China, so I don't know if that's what's holding things back, but usually these things would be popping if the market was dipping down. And the charts look like they want to. It's kind of crazy. How about Datavault, though? That's a USA one. And that one does not look bad there. So you can keep an eye on that. That's a penny stock that's from USA. And BHAT, I think, is another China one, right? Blue Hat. Yeah, that's another China one that just recently reverse split. And it's still pulling back. We've just been kind of watching, and we'll see if that can get curled up right there. And then your airlines have been getting beaten down, guy. Look at this thing. Holy cow. American Airline way down. Your Southwest was down pretty good today. I would say, like, these things, your airlines going down as well. Southwest right there, LUV. And what is the Delta, I believe, is the other one right there, DAL. That was down some today, too. That one doesn't look as bad, but LUV, holy cow, that thing looked pretty bad. It was down, what, almost 8% right there. Look at that. That thing looks like it's going into the basement, so that does not look great right there. That's for sure. And let's see what CXAI is up to there, Doge Mama 9. That's another penny one looking good today, and it was jumping up. I think you could get a run up on that CXAI. That's looking pretty good right now. I like that look. Let me look at it over here on the old Trend Spider. And yeah, I mean, that does look pretty nice to me. I think we might get some more pop up on that one as well. And then China, is this China Resources? Yeah, China Natural Resources right here. And this guy, this one is an interesting one because, again, it's the metals and mining ones. And it used to be, they reverse split. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But I remember it used to be like a penny stock. And it's still kind of 340s. But yeah, just bouncing around right there. If it can get back over here and catch some momentum around 350, it could run right there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. And what is Fly U? I forget. Oh, that's the travel one. I know we've looked at. Oh, yeah, look at that bad boy dipping down. You do have that support down here, but I don't know. It could keep on dipping down pretty good. So look for a reversal. Yeah, that's what looking at that bounce right there. So we'll keep an eye on the airlines right here and see when they want to get reversed around, fly you. I'll add that over here and keep an eye on. I think they'll be a good one when they get turned back around. They're getting beaten down right now too. So another good one right there. How about that KORU? That thing took a major beating today. Holy cow, look at this thing. This thing got beat down. Look at it all the way down there. Pop back up a little bit, nothing crazy, and then dip down some more. And maybe take another beating tomorrow. If it doesn't hold at this 300 laptop travel, it's in some major trouble. I'd say you should really pile into that thing. But yeah, that thing's wild right there and could definitely go back down some more tomorrow. So we'll be watching that KORU as well. That's an interesting one to short right now or put puts on, I would say. And let's see what else is going on over here. What are you guys looking at? Adobe and Ulta, they both had their earnings both down on them. They were both disappointing right there. Here's Adobe and then Ulta. See how big it came way down. Ulta took a huge dip too. You know what else is down? Elf right here. Elf was looking like it wants to pull back some more. So you might add Elf to that list to go down a little bit too. So a lot of things looking like they could pull back. Fertilizer stocks, which ones are they? What are you even saying here? Let me read. Let me try to read this here. It says fertilizer prices are climbing to the highest they've been in years at the worst possible moments. So some opportunities. CG, MIS, and NTR. Let's see what they are. What is it? CG. That's Carlisle Group. That's an asset management. That's just pulling back right there. We'll see when it wants to get turned around. MIS, is that what it was? Is that what I put? No. MIS, not sure what that one is. Let me see if it's over here. It could be an OTCer. And no, that's a crypto play. So I'm not sure which one that one might be. MIST is all I would see, and not sure about that. So not sure what that one is. But what's NTR is Nutrien right here, agricultural inputs or something from Canada. That's running up. Now that one looks pretty good to try to run up some more. You might get some momentum on that bad boy. And there you go for NTR. So maybe you're on the something. Let's see. Agricultural inputs. Let's see. AVD's dipping. This one looks good. BioX. That CF was running up. Is that one that you said? No, you said CG. CF looking pretty good. CTVA, not sure what it is, but that doesn't look too bad. FMC trying to spike up there. We'd look at that in the morning. And that one had a good spike. Let me see. Oh, I'm like losing. I can't. There we go. I had to move the mouse. NXTS seed right there. Now that looks like it could grow a little more. And let's see. SMG looks like it's dipping in this one. UAN. So yeah, seed could be a good one right there. Let's check out that good old seed and see what it's to do. That looks like it could get into the top, guys. I would keep an eye on that tomorrow. SEED right there. So that could be a good play, laptop travel. And let's see, CF and YLB. Not sure what they are, but let's look and see what they are. CF, you said? Agricultural inputs. I wasn't that on that list, or was it? I don't even know. Was that on that list? I have no idea. But that thing is running. Well, I have to look now. Was this on that list right there? It had to be. Yeah, CF. It was one of the first ones we went through. Okay. I was going to say, I don't even remember looking at it. But yeah, that one's running up in LYB right here. Specialty chemicals, and that one is running up as well. That could get some more run up tomorrow morning, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. And that AGH, we were talking about that new Trump drone company right there. Laptop travel had some 594 Q puts right there. And John Kerry, how are you there? And do you think ZNB will get back to $1? They did a reverse split, 1 for 100, and your average is probably really high, huh? Yeah, that's going to be high. Let's see. What is it? ZNB, huh? Zeta Network right here. They pulled the old reverse split on you today or yesterday. Or today, that is March 12th. 1 for 100. Will it get back to $1? You're asking. Oh, wait. What are you asking? If it gets back, get back to 100. Wait, I don't know. Get back to $1. They did a reverse split. Or do you asking if it'll get back to 100? I think that's what you were trying to ask. If it gets back to 100 right here, and I say it might pull back a little bit more off of that Zeta, and then we'll see how much it can run up. But a lot of times these things struggle to get back. I mean, it's a big old jump to get up there. I'll tell you that right now, especially after a reverse split. So unless it can get like really on squeezed and like you know, pumped online was the word I was trying to think of. As long if it can do that, it might have a chance. But right now, I'm not so sure there, John. It did get beat up pretty good. It's down there. And like I said, you could get a bounce, but not looking beautiful. I'll put it that way. So sorry about that. Reverse splits are the worst, and I can't tell you how many I've gotten destroyed on throughout my life. Holy cow! If I could tell you, I couldn't even. I don't even know if I can count that high anymore. It's so many. It was like so many. They used to reverse split like crazy. And and for some reason I never look at the news and have no idea. And that was before Finviz was putting this stuff up there like every single day, like a week in advance sometimes, telling you when these things are reverse splitting. So yeah, I used to get destroyed on some of them reverse splits, especially some of them China stocks. Oh my goodness, guys, they would just crush you. And that's why I don't really mess with them anymore because I've taken too many licks from them bad boys. I'd say. I mean, I've won a ton of them too, so I guess I can't complain. But they just are way too wild anymore. Anything can happen with them plays, so you got to in and out. If you're gonna do it, you got to be like in and out as soon as it goes up. If you hang out for a little too long, they'll pull the old reverse split or offering or something like that, and just absolutely kill you. So this is a USA company. I'm not sure what this company does that in network. Let's see. What the heck does that even say? It just said a headquarter. Didn't it just say it was a USA company, ZNB? It says entertainment. And when I clicked on that, that should be the website. China Advanced Construct. What the hell is going on, guys? Why did it go here? Did they hack this company or something? What the heck is that? Laptop Travel. Do you know anything about this thing? Look at this. I just went to from Zeta and wasn't that a Chinese company before? I don't know. I was kind of confused when I saw USA because for some reason I thought this used to be a China company, but maybe I was completely wrong. Maybe it is a USA company, but then China Advanced Construction Materials, which I didn't think it was that anyway, but I have no idea what's going on right here, Laptop Travel. Do you have any, can you make any sense of this for me? Because I have no clue. But anyway, there's that Zeta right there, and there's I tried to see what it did, and I have no idea. It says it's headquartered in Beijing, somewhere. You probably know where that is. What is that even called? Hutalo? I have no idea, guys. And the Nasdaq Q is HHT. So I have no. What the heck is even going on? Like that's I don't know what's happening here. Why when I clicked on that it went to this? I have no idea. Anyway, I'm confused as you guys are. I have no idea what Zeta Network is, and now I'm even more. I still don't know what it is, and now I'm even more confused, John Kerry. So there you are with that. But I think you might have a little more pullback on that bad boy before it starts to move. And again, you're probably, if you're lucky, you get back up here to your 22 area and your 20 moving day average. And if you're real lucky, it gets back in that channel and tries to get to 47 area. But they start pulling back too as this chart moves on. So you can keep it. I'll write it down for tomorrow morning, and we can keep an eye on it for you if you'd like. You can just post it up here, and we can look at it. That's not a problem. But I am super confused. Do you know anything about the company, John Kerry? Do you have any idea what they do? If it's a USA company, or is it that like company that I clicked on and it got to like a weird website right there, HHT, which has a completely different stock ticker? I have no idea what's going on. Anyway, that's doesn't take much to confuse me, but that's definitely confusing. Confusing me. But anyway, the Qs did exactly as you predicted there in the Discord. There you go. And you wrote, I think you see some pullbacks and what a target of mid late day is 602 and possible under 600. And there you go. So next drop to 583. Yeah, I think the Qs are going down pretty good tomorrow, guys. I can see that happening as well. And yeah, you're coming down here to like 590. Is that what's that even say? 589 it says. So yeah, I think I don't know if you're getting all the way down there, but it could I think you're 580 is in the play, guys. I think that's what it's. I can't read. I'm telling you, I can't even see. What does that even say? That says. All right, hold on. I can't. What did I just do? I just messed up. I was going to the wrong line. Is that 590 or 580? Why can't I tell? That's gotta be 590 right there. Yeah, 590. Okay. I don't know. It looks like a 9 and 8. I can't really tell, to be honest with you. Um Certain numbers are hard for me to tell, but it does look like if I go down there, that looks like 589. So that should be 590. Yes. I think you're coming down to that 590 laptop travel and everybody. So it could be brutal right there. And look at your Mag 7, which we're about to go through in a few moments anyway. So we'll look at them. EONR, that was a Doge Mama 9 one right there that was running up today. Look at that bad boy. Good, great call. Doge Mama 9 right there. EONR, beauty. And that was an oil play. And I hope Doge Mama 9 played that as well. That was a nice one right there. You mentioned it last night there. And circles up. Oh, I know. This thing's been running circles around the market. That's for sure. And it looks like it could pop up more. Just be careful because it's in the top right there. And Laptop Travel said ZMB curling up here. Look for 14 and then bow. Yeah, I don't, like I said, it could pull back a little more, and then you got to look for them two lines that I was saying. I forget what their numbers were, but you saw where it was. And I would say silver's trying to bull flag right here, Laptop Travel. But if this thing pulls back, it might go right through and go down. It looked like it was trying to get bullish, and then all of a sudden today, it does not look good. Now we've seen them turn around pretty fast a lot of times, so I'll have to look at it in the morning, which we always do anyway. But gold does not look good. Gold looks like it's coming down to like the 450 area right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. Silver and gold. That was Luis Rodriguez saying bull flag, and it is trying to set up there. I just can't tell at the moment if you are going to get bouncing off of this. You might come through it, and that's the only problem right there, Luis Rodriguez. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on, to be honest with you. So we'll see tomorrow morning. We'll definitely look at gold and silver. And laptops watching for silver, waiting for the right entry. We were talking about that China Natural Resources and then CXAI, and that does look good. KORU, if it breaks below 314, it could fall to 244. What did I say? What numbers did I say? I don't remember, to be honest. Let's see. You're saying 314 right here. Right. Well, you're saying you're saying like right up in here. I think you still have some room down to like 300. And if it gets under that, Laptop Travel, then it's really in trouble. It's already on, it went up a little in the after hours, but still not looking good. And yeah, I think maybe tomorrow tries to stay on here. And if it doesn't, forget about it. It's getting crushed. So I think that's what's KORU is looking like, and we'll be watching that. And what is YYGH? The YY group right here in Singapore. Not familiar with that, but it looks like it was trying to move in the after hours. Let me bring it up over here. YYGH. And that looks like it's just pulling back to me at the moment. Doge Mama 9, do they have something going on? I'm not sure, but that was looks like it was just pulling back right there. Today they did something, I don't even know, revenue guidance or something. Wow, they implying a 75% to 90% growth. Well, that's pretty good, but then it like pulled back. It says it went up a little bit in the after hours. I'll have to look at it tomorrow. YYGH. I'm jotting that one down for us. Doge Mama 9. We'll take a look at that one. And let me see. MOS you were trying to write there as that other play. MOS is that other agricultural one, and that does look pretty good. I don't remember looking at this on that list either. Jesus. Where was this one? Right there. Yeah, we looked at it. It was jumping up there. I must have said, well, that popped up, but I don't even remember. But there you go. And let's see. That's Mosaic. And yep, not MIS, no problem. And good evening, Janica. How are you? And Bitcoin, we just talked about that. Did you hear? I went over that in the beginning, John Kerry. It is up right now. I saw, actually, it's funny because I was just looking at the stock cube. It got like real green right there, and I was like, I saw it jump up. And again, I don't know what the heck's going on. Like, who's hedging the Bitcoin? But crypto looking great, guys. I don't know why. I don't really get it. And if it gets through this, I mean, it looks like it's really healthy right here, John Kerry. So I'm not sure. We already went at the very beginning. We went through all the crypto stocks. I literally went through them because, like I was saying, crypto looking good right here. And I'm not exactly sure why. It looks way better than gold, silver, and a lot of other things. So hey, keep an eye on crypto. Maybe it's its turn to run. Everything else had a chance, like gold and silver, and now oil, and now it's just a big rotation right here. There's Chris Abate. Here he is. Isn't that the dude that lives in? Where do you live, Chris? I forget where you were from. And that didn't start with like Colombia. Was that where you were from? I totally forget, dude. But isn't that was you, right, Chris? You live in like a different country and you buy dividends and stuff. Colombia. See that? I remember, guys. Holy cow. My memory is like getting a little bit better here. It's pretty wild. I think this do almost 2 years of this show has like really helped my brain. I'm starting to remember some things sometimes. It's pretty impressive. Colombia right there, Chris. How are you? We mentioned you a few times after we had that conversation that day. That was a fun conversation when we visited Colombia. And do you tune in often? I'm not even sure, Chris, but if you do, you have to chime in and say hi. It was great talking to you, and I'll go through them guys real quick too. Let me see, because yeah, crypto is ripping, guys. I don't know what's going on, but it is ripping. And laptop travel, since we were talking about that Zeta network, and I'll tell you all about it because laptop gave us some information right here. He said Zeta Network Group, formerly known as Color Star Technology, is primarily a Chinese company. Now, I do kind of remember Color Star Technology, but not really. Was it that same exact stock ticker? It seems like it was a different stock ticker, if I remember. But maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Although it is listed on the NASDAQ in the United States. Huh. Interesting there. So thank you. And ZNB, it is incorporated as a Cayman Islands, exempted from many reporting. I swear, like all the China companies, guys, they do go and incorporate in the Cayman Islands because the Cayman Islands doesn't have to report like anybody else does. Like they don't need to do 4 quarters or whatever anybody else has to do. I don't even know if they have to do anything. Do they? Laptop travel? Is there any rules over there? So I have no idea, but yeah, they get away without reporting almost anything. So, and then you really got to be careful because again, them China companies will get you every time. That's for sure. I think everybody that's traded stocks has gotten burnt by a China company. If you traded small caps or anything, that's for sure. And ZMB laptop travel. Here you go. He said, avoid, avoid, avoid. So there you go, guys. That's laptop travels. That's what he thinks about it. And let's see, Chris, what are you saying? Watch out that IPM got the perfect setup with Iran cyber attack mania brewing. And yeah, what is IPM? I'm not even sure what that is, Chris, but we might have to pile in if you like it. Here, let's see. Whoa, that is looking pretty good. What the heck does this guy do? Intelligent protection management. Let's see. Um, Whoa, it looked like I got hacked. I was like, holy cow, they just hacked me or something? But anyway, I gotta be careful, I guess, clicking on some of these websites. I don't know. Intelligent protection management right here. Interesting. And that guy looks like he definitely knows. Helping your business run efficiently. There you go. And yeah, there you are. And I don't know what that guy's doing. But they got a lot of people. Microsoft and Dell and Citrix and all these people, Nvidia, whatever that is, some other stuff. So yeah, there you go. I'll have to keep an eye on this. IPM, huh? I don't know it, but we're gonna write it down right here, Chris, and keep an eye on that in the morning. That's for sure. So thanks for the heads up on that. And let's see, what else did you write? What the heck does that one say? Does that say S? Have a nice bounce. Wouldn't touch it until it bottoms. Is that supposed to be an S? I don't even know. Centennial one. Okay, probably if you said don't touch it until 12, which would be way down here. Well, that would be a nice dip, and it very well could come cruising back down. That one we might you might be able to take that one down, Chris, if you like that one right there. So that is interesting, right? S Centennial one. What is that's a software one too. And Luis Rodriguez, he likes it. He said IPM looks good, Chris. They have earnings on the 17th. They have a St. Patty's Day party as well. And what's St. Patty's Day like in Colombia, Chris? Do they celebrate or do anything? I wouldn't even I wouldn't think that they did anything crazy in Colombia for St. Patty's Day. The time zone's different and it messes up your schedule. I believe it. And you see, there you go. That looked more familiar right there. Color Star Technologies previous ticker was CSCW. I kind of remember that. And then now it changed to Zeta Network, and yeah, that was all kinds of confusing. But there you go. And and Michael Anthony better bring his pacemaker again. Yeah, you're right about that. Remember, Chris, we were talking about Michael Anthony. We should see him pretty soon. He should hop on after Kramer's done, and we start talking about hot Colombian chicks again. Michael Anthony better bring his pacemaker. You're not getting. Chris, Michael Anthony was seriously ready to hop on a flight and go to your house. He's hit me up like, yo, where's this dude Chris live? Did you get his address for me? I'm ready to go. I got my passport. I got a plane ticket whenever I need it. I'm ready to go. We'll talk dividends and Colombian chicks. Yeah, he's ready, dude. So if you want to have a good time, Michael Anthony will definitely be at your doorstep in the morning. And he's definitely an interesting dude, that's for sure. Hopefully he hops on here. Why we have you on tonight? You got to hop on more often, though, Chris. I know the time change gets you all whacked out because it is kind of weird with all the time changes and stuff like that. But we enjoy having you on here from Colombia. It's a lot of fun. And I remember last time we took a tour of Colombia, and I think didn't we look at like some building or something, like the center of the place, and it was something I brought up a picture, and you're like, oh, that's the center or something. I just kind of remember that, something like that. It was a cool building or a cool place. It looked nice anyway. Anyway, here we go. We'll cruise through some news, and then we'll hit our lists and see what's going on. And then, Chris, if you have anything from Colombia to let us know about, or anybody else has any input or any stocks that you want to look at, feel free to shoot them up there in the stream. We'll look at them. You guys know that. Let's see. A U.S. refueling plane crashes over Iraq. Central Command says that's probably not good. I hope the people are safe at least. Asia Pacific markets tumble as investors brace for prolonged war in the Middle East. And Trump is, what does that say? Scrambling to quell the rise of $100 oil, but the market keeps circling one answer. That is like the most confusing sentence ever. The heck are they talking about? Why the real market shock is long in bonds right there. So I guess look at bonds. We'll have to look at them. And the U.S. Air Force refueling plane crashes in Iraq. Yeah, that's crazy. Holy cow. That's not good. Let's see. What was I going to say? Bonds. We have that up here somewhere. Futures and bonds somewhere. Forex. That's not it. Bonds. Aren't they in here? I think. Yeah, there they are. Let's see. They're way down. The 30-year bond, the 10-year note, the 5. They're all down, looking the same. And yeah, they've had a huge dip right there. Let's pull up this 30. I don't know. They all probably look the same to me. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Whoa, they still look like they're pulling back, actually. I don't know. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see if it's actually bottomed out yet. It doesn't. And that's trying to bounce, but I don't think that. I'm not convinced that the bonds are ready to run up either yet, guys. So I'd be careful if you're a bond person and you like them. I don't know if they're exactly ready. Look at oh, that's coffee. I thought it said copper. I was like, what? Copper, coffee's gonna get crazy. Yo, what's coffee stocks, guys? Coffee's about to get wild right here. I don't know why, but coffee's about to get really expensive. If you drink coffee, you better go load up on it right now. It looks like it's about to skyrocket, and whatever the coffee stocks are, we need to look at immediately. So everybody get me some coffee stocks because I don't know any of them. Holy cow. Look at this chart right here, guys. Coffee's about to go wild, I'm telling you. And yeah, we should be looking at that. And so, guys, let me know some coffee stocks. I can chat GPT them. Let's see. Let me ask my buddy Chat GPT. It's always nice to me and tells me some good information. So let me ask it, what are the coffee? Why is coffee about to explode? Why is coffee stocks about to explode? and explode. I don't know how to spell that. There it goes. And what are all the coffee stocks? There we go. We'll see what that answer comes up with, and then it'll tell me like I'm five because it tells me everything like I'm five. I think I have it trained like that actually. It's pretty good. Here we go. You want to know why? Ready? Here we go, guys. And I love this thing's great. Why coffee stocks could explode. There's basically a perfect storm happening in the coffee market. Massive supply problems. The biggest driver is supply shortages. Brazil, the largest coffee producer, has had droughts and floods and all kinds of stuff. Vietnam's the number two, has export and logistics problems and weather and all kinds of things hurting things. And then number two, the global demand is surging. Demand isn't slowing. It's rapidly growing in China. And what else? And speculators are piling in. Coffee future markets are relatively small. So hedge funds can move prices dramatically. I'm telling you, this shit's about to get wild right now. I'm not going to lie. And cost and tariffs is another other catalyst right here. And here we go. Now we got some well, obviously like Starbucks and things like that. I wanted to see like companies that actually like brew it or something. I don't know. Let me see. I got some stuff coming on over here. Coffee commodity, what traders watch. Coffee futures, ICE exchange. The coffee ETO, JO, what is that? Let's see. I don't even see anything for JO. I don't know what that is either. But let's look and see what coffee things it gave us. Hold on, let me look. International coffee companies, JDE Peets, and Tata Consumer Products. I don't know any of these things. Does anyone know any of this stuff? What? JDE Peets. I don't see that coming up. Yeah, I don't know any of these. But let me go up here and see if any of these companies exist. Here we go. Let me see. Here, I'll start at the top of it here. Major public coffee stocks. Here we go. Starbucks is obviously a big one. That's going to be one. I'm guessing that that's going to get rocking and rolling. It's already been up. I already know because I've seen that one. It has resistance. That's why I didn't necessarily want to look at these ones. Look at Dutch Bros going down right there. Like I think these ones could go down because they might see this one's an OTC, Lonkin or whatever. They might see less people coming in because they're going to be raising their prices. So that's why I didn't necessarily want to look at the coffee, these guys right here, like Starbucks and stuff. Let's see, BRCC. And that's kind of dipping down. So you can see they're dipping down. Let's see. I know Michael Anthony likes his Keurig or whatever. And look at that. That's dipping down right there too, guys. And what is this as an OTC or Nestle? I don't even know. NSRGY, something like that. That doesn't look too bad, but that's an OTC, so I probably wouldn't mess with it right there. Let me see if there's anything else. JM Smucker, SJM, JM Smucker. There you go. That's dipping down. So now we have to see if these guys want to bounce, but they look like they're pulling back. And again, I would assume that they're going to pull back because coffee prices are going to be soaring, and you might have less customers and less profit or whatever's going on. But the coffee, whatever, is going to I don't know who the hell I'd look at, but that thing's going to go nuts. You can just see it happening right there. So anyway, if you guys know who to play for the coffee ones, let me know, and I'll watch these guys to see if they want to get turned around like Starbucks and stuff. But like I said, they could be dipping right now. You see it all the way run up here. This could pull back. I don't know. Maybe it wants to run up a little bit more. I'll keep an eye on it, but I wanted like the real coffee, like I don't know, producers. I have no idea what I want, but that's what I wanted. And let's see if you guys had anything. YouTube messed up the thumbnail play video in background, so it's hard to do the DD and watch the live stream at the same time. Cuts it off automatically now. Huh? What do you mean? You have to hit me up about that, Chris. I'm not sure what you mean, Chris. Oh, Luis Rodriguez said, try closing the YouTube app and relaunching it. It's worked in the past for Luis Rodriguez. All right, so you've had that problem too, Luis Rodriguez. So there you go. And yeah. Um, what else? Buy Cafe Bustelo. What the heck is that? It's cheap, tastes great, and acts like rocket fuel. I don't even know what that is that coffee, I guess. And yeah, we have to find these I'm telling you guys, this coffee looks insane right here. I mean, that just jumped out. Clearly it's green as can be, but I mean, look at this thing. It just looks wild on the chart. It's been beaten down. That thing's ready to curl up and go crazy. I mean, you can see it curling up here. It's going to roll off that MACD, and that thing's going to go. So I would say we have to figure out how to trade this thing. And the escalation in Iran conflict closing the Strait of Hormuz drove coffee futures higher and shipping disruption fears. So that also is a problem right there. So I'm not sure how we trade it, but it does look really nice. I'm not going to lie. So there you go with that. And let's see, what else do we have? The metals right here. Like I said, gold and silver, not so great. Platinum. That's why I thought it was copper, and I didn't think that was running up. I was kind of surprised when I was like, "Is that copper?" But it was definitely coffee right there. And live cattle is going to get running, but we already know our prices are high. Remember, I was saying sugar was going to get cruising along too recently. I just said that like a couple days ago. Did I not just say that down here, guys? I swear, pull back that show back here. I swear it was a few days back, and that thing just went up. I know we were talking about it when I did this, and I don't do this every day with the futures. We could, I just don't know how to even trade them, to be completely honest. So I have no idea. Look at coffee right there. Obviously, it's way green. Bitcoin too is getting crazy. So yeah, Bitcoin and coffee. You can drink coffee and trade Bitcoin right now. They're the two winners, it looks like. So let's continue and go through and see what's going on. SJM owns that Cafe Bustelo, whatever it is, and so yeah, there you go. Oh, hold on. I have some info for you guys. You want an interesting? Where's my sidekick? I told it to do something good for us today. Look, remember we were talking about Campbell's yesterday? Well, I did ask it about it. I told you I would, but they don't separate anything. They do meals and beverages, and then they also do snacks as the other category. I guess they do snacks and meals and beverages or something. But Reyes is clearly the big star in the company, guys. And like I was saying, I still don't understand why they have Prego. Like it does not make sense. They don't separate them, like I was saying. But let's see. They don't publicly disclose individual brand little revenue. Reyes. But the meals and beverage segment generated roughly 1.4 to 1.5 billion in net sales per half year. And that includes all them soups, Swanson, Pace, all them crazy companies that we were talking about. It's just not Prego and Reyes. But right here, Reyes was acquired just recently, last year, guys, in March. So literally a year ago for $2.9 billion. So I guess they're expecting that Reyes makes a lot of money. I have no idea. Like I said, like why are they just forking out 2.9 billion? That's a lot of money to buy a sauce company. I think like if you're Campbell's, why don't you just make your own sauce company and make it really good? Like make it better than Reyes, and then you save a bunch of money. You don't have to fork out 2 point whatever it was. What did I say? Almost $3 billion. Like that's how much Netflix is getting paid over that to just walk away from a deal. I mean, that's so crazy, isn't it, guys? They just bought Reyes for that. And so management described Reyes' growth as bright spot and explicitly said it grew 14.5% in market consumption. So there you go. And again, we were talking about this yesterday. I found it kind of intriguing, but they don't break them down. They just have two categories for Campbell's. And I swear I should definitely hit them up. I mean, I just don't understand what's going on over there. I understand. You know what I understand over there? I'll tell you what I understand what's going on. I understand why the stock price is dipping. What did I say yesterday, guys? Did I not say that thing was dipping hard? Holy cow, that was a nice one to short down. I understand why it's dipping down. That's for sure. We went through the people, the executives and stuff. I mean, this is crazy right here. Look at that. They're like going to like all-time lows now. Like they're back into the 20s, guys. Look, you were like down here in a long time ago, like in like the early 2000s. Yeah, it's like that's like the last time they weren't even they were in the 33s. They're getting back into the early 2000s range right here, guys. That or like yeah, 2002, 2003 looks like. And then the last time it was that low is when the company opened. I mean, holy cow. And then it kind of went up. I mean, every couple of years it was growing, growing, growing. Then it exploded right there, and I don't think it ever came back. Did it ever go back up there? Yeah, it did. It went back up there again, just in the late 2000s. That was right before COVID, I guess. It all blew up for whatever reason. I have no idea why Campbell's went to its all-time highs. And now it's almost back to its lows, guys. Holy cow. I bet they would talk to me now after I'd be like, yo, I could fix you. I could help you fix that stock chart and the entire company. Like, just have one call with me. And I know I'm a lunatic sometimes, but I promise you, I know what I'm talking about, even with a brain injury. And I could fix this company like so easily. I just don't understand. I don't get what the executives are doing. I never understand what the boards ever doing at these companies, like especially like a company like Campbell's. Like I said, I was expecting to see the board. We didn't get to see any pictures of them or even see their names. We just seen the executives, like the people that run the company. I expect them to be like all these old white people and just like so out of touch and out of tune with everything. And nothing against them. I mean, they're older, successful people, but they're just not like into the things that happen now. And at some point you got to kind of pivot and you got to bring younger people in that really know what's going on, because you just get left in the dust. And this is what happens when you get left in the dust, guys. I mean, in 2016 they were crushing it right there, and they could have kept it going right there in 2017, but you can clearly see they dropped the ball, and the ball got dropped hard. And that's why I remember yesterday I said I was looking at the stock chart basing this too. We'll just do it real quick. About us, and then we went. Oh, hold on, about us right here, and we went through the leadership team, and I picked out two people. I already know who they were. This dude right here, and then this chick right here. And I said they look like nice people. Don't get me wrong, but just by looking at the stock chart, I could tell. I was like, well, their two positions fouled completely. This dude's the senior vice president, enterprise research and development. Like I said, their research and development has been terrible. I mean, absolutely garbage. And then poor Janda right here, it might not even be their fault. I have no idea. She's the executive vice president of chief growth officer. And yeah, they're definitely not growing. That's for sure. So I don't know what's going on over there. They have young people running the company, apparently. I mean, it looks like it. This dude's young. The CEO is a pretty young dude. Good old Mick. And he looks pretty wise. And then Mohit is the VP, and Oliver, he's a young dude, and Charles. So they have a little wide variety of people as well, and a bunch of women. I mean, they're all over the place. They got everybody. They got younger people. I just don't understand what the hell's going on. And Risa right here, she's the executive VP, president of meals and beverages. They might need to get that job checked out too. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what the hell's going on over there, guys. I really don't. And I would say first off, we need to dive into them three jobs, see what the hell what's going on with R&D right now. I mean, I have no idea what's happening with R&D. What is the chief growth officer's plan? What is your idea for this company? I need to know. And the president of meals and beverages, what direction are we supposed to be going in here right now, right, Risa? So or Rissa or whatever it is. And like I said, they all look like nice people, probably good at what they do. I don't know if they don't have the support behind them. I just don't get it, guys. And I know this company well because I'm from around the area. So I've grown up knowing that company my whole life. And it's always been a big company around here. Employ a lot of people, let's put it that way. I just don't get it. It's great. I haven't understood this company for the last few years. Like I said, I've had this question for years now, and I've like scratched my head every time I walk down in the supermarket and I look at their soup and like I don't even know how they get shelf space, just because it's just such a recognizable brand. I get like, who is buying the chicken soup, the chicken noodle soup? I don't get it. I haven't understood this for years. And yeah, like I said, and then they got a cheeseburger soup, and that just doesn't make sense. Like just doesn't make sense to me. I think it makes me angry. I don't know. It like kind of makes me crazy right now that this company is just run so ass backward. I don't know what they're doing over there, and I'm just an idiot sitting behind a desk, and I could just tell you, like sitting here doing a show, I could promise you, I could turn the company around for them. I don't understand what everybody in the company is doing, so it's just mind-boggling to me. And you guys know I've called out companies before they go bankrupt, everything, and I'm not, I might not be the brightest, but for some reason that stuff just jumps out at me, and that jumps out at me, that Campbell's. And again, I picked it out yesterday. I was just telling you who was doing a just by looking at the stock. I did it real quick. I clicked on it. I don't know if you guys remember, but I looked at the yearly thing, and when I went back and seen the last few years like that, I was like, well, RD's not good. The marketing's not good. There's nothing going on at this company. So anyway, maybe I'll shoot them a email after I get done this show. If they respond, they respond. If not, it's their loss. I wouldn't care one bit or the other. But like I said, I could definitely help them. I mean, this thing's about to go in the bottom and get buried right here. And that is Campbell's Soup right there. How interesting is that? What a I mean, they haven't been that low for a long time. I should just start out the email like, well, since you haven't been down this low since about 2000, November of 2022, you might want to be all ears right now. That's so crazy to me. Holy cow. Talk about going down. Anyway, that's going down right now. Good old Campbell's. Anyway, we'll get off of Campbell's Soup. I won't break them too hard anymore. Maybe somebody's listening. I don't know. Somebody from Campbell should be listening to this show, like just taking notes right now. And go back to yesterday's show too. I broke down all the products. It was great. And at least I thought it was. I had a lot of fun doing it. I'm not going to lie. But anyway, let's get back to our show, Chris, because you're back in Colombia. And we need to find out about Colombia too. So close out that app, relaunch it again, and see if that works for you. And PD, that good old pager duty's dipping right here. It certainly was. And it's pulling back to that 20. It'll probably roll off, though, I bet. So I think you get a little roll off, just that little pullback right there. And let's see. Deflation in green coffee cost is expected to help margins in SJM's dominant coffee business. Folgers, Dunkin', Cafe, whatever, through the rest of the year. Yeah, I'm telling you, these companies, that might actually do well. What is it? SJM. We were looking at it. You mentioned it. We got to keep it on our radar. And again, maybe these bad boys they're not bottomed yet, but maybe we're on to something where the coffee ones are just going to get explosive, guys. So if I knew how to trade actual coffee, like, can I just go buy some Folgers and trade somebody? Because I mean, holy cow, this chart's insane right here. I'm telling you, coffee's going up. And you're running right here. You're going up to like 320 right there, and I think it's going to buck that and get up to the 344. I think it's just going to keep on going, the coffee right now. And I don't, like I said, there's a lot. We know why. We asked ChatGPT. It explained it somewhat like we were 5, so it works out. And we understand why it's going up, but it's going up. And like I said, like even Starbucks and stuff, these things are dipping hard. I don't know if they're like losing profits right now or losing money. I have no idea because of the rise of coffee. So I don't know how to take it, because these look like they want to pull back, which kind of makes sense to me. But I would assume like coffee producers and like people that actually like do look like growing the coffee and stuff, if you could trade that, I don't know how to do it, but I would assume that they're going to get popping right now. Let's put it that way. So anyway, there's your coffee talk. And everyone make sure you go out and load up on your coffee. I can see the prices are about to soar, guys. And you guys know that they'll be going up real soon. Actually, I was at Home Depot the other day, and I saw the guy. He came over with like the sticker book, and they just like stick the sticker right over the last sticker that was there. And I said, how often do you do this? Because he was changing all the prices, and he laughed because, dude, anymore it's like weekly. We're changing these prices. They go up every single day practically. I started laughing. I was like, it feels like it every time you come in here. Seems like they raise the price every single day. But yeah, I'd never really seen him actually do that. But yeah, dude had like this big book, and he's just doom, 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 doom. He's just going down the line and just putting stickers over all the stickers that were there. And I was looking at the prices. Some of them were going up like $2, $3, dollar. I was like, they weren't just like 50 cents. They were moving. And then there was one product where he put the sticker on and it went down. And I looked at it and I said, that one went down. And he goes, I wasn't paying attention. Maybe it's a mistake. And I go, well, then I won't say anything. I swear to God. I was like, yeah, that price went down. It was, I forget. It was like, I think it was like $8 or $9 or something that it said it was. And then you put the sticker on and it said it was eight something. And I was like, that's weird because they all went up like $2, $3. Sitting there in line just watching them do it. He's standing right next to me. And and yeah, and I was like, that one went down. And he looked at it and he goes, I wasn't paying attention. That might be a mistake. I started cracking up. I was like, whoops, somebody was about to get that cheaper. But yeah, he probably went back and looked and it was probably up at $2, $3. But yeah, it was crazy. I'm not gonna lie. He was raising the prices on like it was all the concrete tools and stuff. So I was like, concrete tools are going up. And yeah, it was kind of crazy. He was just every single one of them. He just raised the price on every single. It was wild. And yeah, have a feeling coffee's going to do something like that. Everything seems like it's doing that right now. It's pretty crazy. So anyway, let me see. I'll run through the rest of these real quick because you guys have some stuff and I'll know where I finished off with the messages to come back to them. And then we'll come back and go through the rest of our list because we didn't even do that. We just been hanging out talking about Campbell's for 2 days. I'm just absolutely baffled by this company. Campbell's soup products are loaded with salt, and that's why they taste good. Maybe for what Michael Anthony likes them. He said he eats them all. ABev, let's see. Looks like a good defense play. Isn't that a beverage company right there? ABev? Oh, we have to look at it now. I swear, ABev. Isn't that a beverage company? ABev? Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea. It's a Brazil company that Michael Anthony was just talking about the Brazil companies going up, and then they all went down. And this is a beverage company right here, ABev, Chris. And it does look like it's dipping down. I think that's coming down some more. Remember, we just went through the all these Brazil ones the other day. I scrolled right down, and they are pulling back right there. Look at that. All Brazil coming down right there. That's interesting. Huh. Well, you can short Brazil down, it looks like, guys. So is that PAGS on here? I think maybe. I probably just passed it because now I'm going too far. Is that PAGS on here? PAGS. There it is. Look at that dip on Michael Anthony's PAGS right there. He must not be happy. Entire Brazil pulled back right there for whatever reason. I have no idea. But Brazil not looking good. How do we short Brazil down, Laptop Travel? I have no idea. We used to look at like every country's ETF. I don't remember what they are or anything, but what's Brazil's? I just got splashed in the face with water. That was great. Anyway, so yeah, let me know what Brazil that's going down to. Every single one of them stocks is dipping right there. That's pretty wild. So there you go. I'd be careful with that ABev right now, Chris, to be honest with you. I know Michael Anthony likes it too, so you guys are like two peas in a pod right there because he just talked about that thing the other day. And but then Brazil stocks are not looking good for some reason. Disney's cracking. They launched a new summer promotion for 2026 that offers free dining for families who booked directly through Disney Demand. Wow, that's wild. Well, I mean, does anyone, I don't know how many people actually book right through Disney because there's so many people that like do all these Disney like trip things and stuff like that, and then they can get a free trip. So there's all kinds of people always selling Disney specials and packages. I have no idea, to be honest with you, but yeah, there's all Disney's just another one, guys. I mean, we've talked about it before. Their prices are just astronomical right there, and look at it. You can see that's reflecting. That's going down too. And so we'll see. And remember, even Cracker Barrel right here, the CEO did something dumb. Remember, she did something really stupid. And there you go. That one went down. It's never fully recovered. And honestly, Laptop Travel, you were probably right about the spring and maybe so later on. But this thing just got caught in a war. So now they're all pulling back right here. So it just got slaughtered. And unless it can pop tomorrow off that bottom, you may end up in the basement with this thing and completely getting destroyed down there. So yeah, Cracker Barrel may really get destroyed. It tried right there. You could see it got completely rejected. And now it would have to get really ripping right now. So I think Cracker Barrel might get destroyed as well. So that's another example of like when you do dumb things, it's hard to recover from something like that as you took that huge dip and finally started to catch the momentum at the right time until it's not the right time anymore. And we're having a major war. We're at war with Iran and oil's flying, the markets are crashing, and all kinds of stuff's going on. Cracker Barrel's going to be sitting on the sidelines too because people aren't going out the Cracker Barrel right now. So they'd shot themselves in the foot right there. So that's why it's so important to maintain great management and great products and great performance all the time. Quality is better than anything. And that's the reason. And making sure that you're tight on everything. That's Campbell's problem. Their quality is garbage. They don't even have quality. There's like no quality going on at that company. That's the problem. And they need somebody to get in there and be like, yo, we need to tighten this ship up. I don't know what the hell's going on, but let's get all these executives in a room and put them all on the same page because everybody seems like they're doing something different and nobody seems to know what the hell's going on. I don't know. I look at it. That's what I can tell you by looking at the stock chart. You guys know. I just tell you what the stock chart looks like and it reflects the company and what's going on. And that's what reflects it. You could see it for Cracker Barrel. You could see it on all of them. And you guys know we've called companies before. I'm not saying they're going bankrupt, but you guys know I can see what goes on through the chart easily. I've said companies were going bankrupt like a week or two before it happens. And yeah, you can see these kind of things on the stock chart. I've pointed it out and actually showed you guys many times before what things look like as they set up. But yeah, that's how I can tell Campbell's is just a disaster. And then, like I said, it's like right around, I could get there in 10 minutes. Honestly, I'd be at Campbell's headquarters in 10 minutes from my house. It's right there. I told you, I used to drive by it all the time when I worked in Camden doing inspections. So, and sometimes I drive by in a police car because they used to give me a police escort and drove me around in a cop car a lot too. So that was interesting. You want to hear a funny story? I'll tell you guys a really I'll never forget this story, to be honest with you. And that just reminded me. So I used to do inspections, I told you, in Camden, and they used to drive me around with a police officer. A cop used to escort me around a lot of times. I thought it was like the most dangerous city in the country. And so if they were like certain streets though, where it was like really hardcore gang related, you didn't really want to go with a cop. So we would do them ones on like Saturday mornings. And so yeah, me and my dad would just go and do them ones without the cops or anybody. And so yeah, but most of the other places they would take us to the place because it wasn't the best area. So anyway, long story short, so I was just sit in the back sometimes. Sometimes the mayor would go with us, one of the mayors of a smaller town, and because of Camden can be broken up into little towns, and then they have like the one big mayor. So sometimes the mayors would go with us as well and go with the inspector. That's why I told you I've worked with mayors for all my life, and so they would be in there too, and I'd be in the car all day with them, just hanging out, talking, doing my inspections, working with them. And so we stopped. It was just funny because they stopped. It was one morning, and we had like an hour break in between these inspections, and we never really went out to eat or anything ever. And the mayor was like, "Hey, you guys want Dunkin' Donuts or anything? We have an hour to kill." My treat. And I was like, yeah, whatever. If you want to go, I'll buy my own. I don't really mind, but sure, if you just want to go. So we go in there, we grab some donuts, and we come back out. And don't you know, we come pulling out now. There's a county sheriff vehicle just sitting right there. When we pulled in, I kind of saw it was in the back, but I wasn't paying attention. I was just in the back of the car, and I just had noticed it. And one of my neighbors growing up, he's like a brother to me, was one of the sheriffs. He actually retired now, but so he is the one that's actually, and he used to work in the courtroom all the time. He usually wasn't always out in the cop cars unless they were doing like big busts or something, like going and grabbing people. He would be involved in all that stuff. He was pretty high up, and so he was actually sitting in the car doing paperwork and recognize he didn't realize that I went inside to the Dunkin' Donuts with the cop and the mayor. He had no idea. He's sitting on the back and I didn't see him. I just saw the car. I couldn't really see who was in it either, and he couldn't see me. So we come out and I have no idea. It's the craziest thing ever. So we come out, we pull out of the parking spot and we go right towards this county vehicle, this county police vehicle, and it's a sheriff. He was a sheriff. It was a county sheriff, and and we're going right towards it. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, hey, I wonder if that's my I say it in the car. I'm like, hey, I wonder if that's my neighbor. He works for the sheriff's. Maybe you guys know him. And I like and then all of a sudden the sheriff, so he told us the story too, because we talked to him. He recognizes I'm in the back of the cop car. And so he literally drives in front of the cop car and like stops it. Like he sees me in the back of the cop car, puts the car in drive and drives towards the cop car I'm in. So the sheriff's driving towards the other cop car and he just stops right in front of it and hops out of the car. He puts up his hand and I'm like, holy cow, it's my neighbor. And they're like, you know this guy? I'm like, yeah, he's like my brother. And they're like, all right. And so he comes up to the window real quick and he's like, yo, what's going on? What's going on? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing inspections. And he's like, oh, all right. And he knew I did inspections, but he had no idea I was in the back of a cop car. And yeah, he didn't know I got like driven around all the time that doing them. And so yeah, he jumps out. He thought I'd like gotten in trouble or something happened. And yeah, he jumps out of the car and he like stops the car and he's like, everything all right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm just doing inspections. And he's like, oh, all right. He's like, I thought there was an issue. I was gonna make sure you weren't going anywhere. I was like, holy cow. So I got back in the car and he texted me. He goes, oh, that was pretty wild. I'm like, dude, that was so crazy. I said, I actually just said to them as we were like driving up towards you, I was like, hey, I wonder if my neighbor's there. And then it's you. And he recognized me. I couldn't even tell that it was him, to be honest. He saw me in the back of this cop car and stops the cop car. It was crazy, guys. So yeah, it was pretty funny. We still laugh about it to this day. I see them all the time. They don't live next door anymore, but his parents do. And I obviously am pretty close with them, and like I say, he's like a brother to me. And yeah, it was so crazy. I was like, the one time, guys, like you would have definitely gotten out of something. I wasn't getting in trouble, but I really never got in trouble, to be honest with you. So it wasn't something that, and that's the one thing he thought. He was like, why is he in the back of a cop car? Like it wasn't something I wasn't a person that got in much trouble, but just a funny, crazy story that had happened there. But yeah, literally just drove right in front of the cop car. But he was in a sheriff vehicle, so I guess when you're a cop too, I guess you could do things like that. And then I introduced everybody, the mayor and the other police officer, and then don't you know, this is how small the world it is. So about 3, 4 weeks later, like a month, I think it was like less than a month. They told me about it. I wasn't there for this, but less than a month later, he came in. Like I said, he would come and catch the fugitives, and he was on that squad, so he was pretty high up. He actually had to come into the one smaller town, and at like 4 o'clock in the morning they did a bust. They were raiding something and trying to capture a fugitive. And yeah, like 3, 4 weeks later he ends up having to work with that cop and the mayor and stuff at that town. And they told me about it all after it happened. Obviously they weren't telling me about it before, that's for sure. But yeah, they were like, well, the next time I'd gone for that happened and I went for inspections, they were like, yeah, your buddy who was just here. And I was like, who? And they were like, your buddy, that's the cop that stopped the car. He was like, he was here. He just caught a fugitive this morning. We were working with him. I was like, no way. They're like, yeah, it was kind of odd. Like you just introduced us, and then he was the head guy, and he was in charge. And I was like, yeah, he's pretty high up. And they're like, yeah, he is. He's the head dude. And I was like, yeah. But like I said, he's since retired. But anyway, that's a crazy like I said, just a small world and funny things happen. But yeah, how the hell he recognized that I was in the back of a cop car? Still to this day, I have no idea. But yeah, I used to get driven around in the back of a cop car and do inspections. And like I said, it was not a safe spot where I used to go. And like I tell you, a lot of times me and my dad kind of preferred to not have the police around us because it was a little more dangerous sometimes. But yeah, we knew the streets that you wouldn't go with the police, let's put it that way. Literally, there were certain streets that, I mean, there was like gangs back there, and they would just would be like a gang on this street and another gang on another street. They didn't even get along. They'd shoot at each other and fight all the time. And then they wouldn't let you come down the street. Like they would think that you were working with this gang or the police or somebody else. And yeah, they wouldn't even let you like get out of your car. Like you'd get surrounded and then you'd have to like get out and be like, yo, I'm doing an inspection. That person's waiting for me at their property. And then they'd like walk you to the house to ask the person, like, and you'd see like they'd have their guns in their waistband. Like I said, it was crazy stuff. It's amazing. And that's why I'm street smart. I tell you, I'm a lot street smarter than I am book smart. That's for sure. And, but yeah, that's what I used to do all the time, and it was pretty wild. I say me and my dad laugh about stories all the time, and we've seen a lot of crazy stuff. I said I've seen dead people. I've seen it all, guys. I've literally probably seen everything you can imagine. Working in that city for like over 2 decades, there's no way you don't see anything. Like you see it all. It's crazy. But anyway, let's get back to our show. A little crazy story right there. I just remember just from talking about the back of a police car or whatever I was saying. But anyway, there you go. An interesting story about my life right there and my background. Yeah, I did a lot of different things, but I did inspections was probably the longest thing I've ever done because I started doing them, writing and typing home inspections and fire. I did the fire inspections later on. I did the home inspections my entire life, and I started writing and typing them when I was 12 years old in 1992, and that's when I started doing it. And yeah, I would go with my dad on Saturdays. We'd bang out like, and we do like 3 or 4 inspections that morning. And again, these would be the rough areas where like, and my dad kind of needed me as a lookout, to be honest. Sometimes we'd go in vacant properties, and I'd kind of have to stand there as a as a lookout just to make sure nobody would come in. And yeah, it was crazy, guys. It was really crazy, but it makes you learn the streets real well. My dad is super, like I said, he's a Vietnam vet, Bronze Star, and I mean, you want to talk about street smart, you're not messing with him. I'm telling you that right now. I've seen, like I said, you get surrounded by like a gang of people, and we just like at the end of it, we'd kind of be giggling with them. Like they would just be like, "Oh yeah, you guys are cool," and we're like, "Yeah, we don't want no issues, trust me." And we would even laugh like, the cops wanted to bring us here, and we told them, "Hell no, you ain't bringing us here. We're just gonna go." We would say it to them, and they'd be like, "Yeah, you guys are cool." like if you tell them that, they'd be like, "All right, you're cool. You didn't bring the cops around." Hell no, we weren't bringing the cops to this street. Are you crazy? You guys would kill us. Like, are you? No, like, no joke. Like next time they seen us without one, they try to kill you. It was that crazy. So yeah, we knew like I said, my dad was like the wizard at being street smart. It was crazy. He knew every drug set, what they were doing, everything going on. I remember we'd be just driving around. He'd just point out everything. He knew everything happening. It was crazy. But anyway, there you go. A little crazy stuff about Camden, New Jersey. You guys can Google that place. You'll see the crime rate. It's actually come down a little bit. It's not the most dangerous city in America anymore, but it definitely was when I used to work there. I am not gonna lie, and it lived up to its name because I'm telling you guys, it's it was crazy. Like I said, you, you had to really know what you were doing out there, or they would kill you immediately. I'm not gonna lie. So the fact that I survived all that, I've never had a struggle or anything. I think I told you, I had the cops actually come because again, we would go to certain drug areas, the drug sets and certain gang areas. You would not take the cops with you. I had the cops that my dad pulled away. I met my dad at a property. It was in the middle of a drug set, right by a KFC. I know exactly where it's at. And it's right across the street. So this drug set, it's a main drug set right there. It's hardcore too. It's a pretty violent area. Anyway, lots of cars get stolen, all kinds of good stuff goes down. But anyway, so we do this property, and again, we doing these properties for the city and stuff. And yeah, you couldn't take the cops to this kind of place because you would get killed. So now, not only do we don't take the cops or tell them, we go and do the property. The cops are watching this house. So me and my dad go in, we meet the homeowner, but the tenants that were living there weren't there. It wasn't a vacant property. There was people actually stay, like it was a rental property. So we go and meet the homeowner there. We get on the inspection. My dad literally pulls away. And the next thing you know, I get surrounded by like freaking like 10 cop cars that just come in and swarm my car and swarm the homeowner, and they let my dad just leave. I don't know why. I didn't get it. And so yeah, they're like, put your hands up. I'm like, yep, no problem. You got it, guys. They're like, what are you doing here? I'm like, a home inspection. My dad that just drove away, we work for the county. He has the paperwork. If you want, I'll call him and have him come back and show it to you. He's like, yeah. He's like, let me watch you pick up your phone call. My dad picks up the phone. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, yeah, you got to turn around. The cops have guns at us, and they need that paperwork. He's like, oh, I'll be right there. So hear him turning around. He comes up. The cop walks up to the window. Who are you? He's like, that's my son. You guys can relax. We work for the city. Here's the paperwork. Put the guns away. That's the homeowner right there. I don't know what you guys are up to, but we just did an inspection. Here's our paperwork. Here's the inspection if you want to see it. Let us get out of here before something crazy happens, because we have to come back here all the time. And now it's kind of unsafe for us. And yeah, it was crazy, guys. So yeah, I not only had to deal with the the gang members and drug dealers, I also had to deal with the police that were trying to like watch proper. And again, you're talking like the drug agents and stuff, not the people that I'm working with. I don't know them. FBI agents watching these houses and stuff. And I get caught up in it doing an inspection just coming out. So yeah, it was really, really crazy. So I'm not gonna lie, wild stuff. And I kind of think back at some of the stories now that I started remembering things I didn't remember before. I used to think about some of the stories and things like that, and like and just like some of the gang members like to ask, like going right up to you. And like I said, you're in a situation, you look at the biggest dude and you just nod him down. You just say, what's up? You give him, you don't look down, don't look scared, just look at him straight in the eyes and give him a nice nod, say what's up. They don't want issues. They want to take somebody that they know is an easy target. And yeah, you just they'll be like, yo, what are you doing here? And I'm like, yo, I'm doing an inspection. And you just be honest with them. Just if not, they're gonna kill you. Like, I'm not gonna lie. You have to know how to behave yourself and act in split seconds like that, because you have literally like 15 people around you and you have nothing. These dudes have guns all over. They have them stashed everywhere. They have people in like houses on the second floor watching you. It's crazy. I'm telling you guys. I got egged one time. That was probably the worst thing ever. I got hit with an egg. Then someone threw it out like a second floor. I just got done doing a house. I come out the house. I'm walking in my car and it was like a frozen egg too. That shit hurt. I mean, that thing stung the shit out of me. Got me right in the back. And I hear all these people like laughing down the street. You ain't doing nothing about it. You're just getting in your car and driving away, hoping that they didn't shoot you next. And yeah, I got egged one time. Yeah, that was like the worst thing I would say that happened to me. It was probably got hit with an egg. But I'll take the egg over a bullet, that's for sure. So anyway, that's that, and that's Camden, New Jersey. So yeah, glad you liked the Doge Mama 9. And yeah, that I was saying it because it's so weird how, like, you meet somebody and then like a month later, it's like you meet somebody else and they're like best friends or something. You're just like, damn, this world's so tiny like that. Like, what were the chances my neighbor sitting in his county cop car? And again, he would either work in the court system or he would go and grab the fugitives. That's what his two things were. And I think he did the courts after. Yeah, he did the courts later on then, because he did the fugitive task force. He ran that for a while. And yeah, he would go and get these guys. And it was crazy. Like, they'd kick in doors and all kinds of, like I said, I'd be in Camden. I'd see them like 2 blocks away doing stuff. And it was just wild all the time. But let's get back to our show. Chris said he got lost in Camden. Let's read this. At 2 a.m., not the time you want to be there, that's for sure. Drove the wrong exit ramp around Philly area before cell phones. Yeah, that was great. The crackheads stole the Superman. Oh, yeah, it's completely. They would take them and go scrap them. And street sign. There are no street signs. It's like a zombie apocalypse. And that's like all of Camden, guys. And then if you want to go over to what the fentanyl capital, what the heck's it called? I just went blank on it. But yeah, we have that area too, which is crazy. But yeah, they steal. I'm telling you, if it's not nailed down, and I mean bolted like with like bolts like this long in the concrete. They'll take it's gone. It's just not even there. The sewer manhole covers, the sewer cut, everything. I mean, you're talking. It's just like it's like a war zone. Like you drive through, it looks like a war zone. I'm not even kidding, guys. Yeah, it's like kind of crazy. It's scary. And I used to just walk around the streets. I used to go eat at all the little bodegas and stuff, and just like walk in there and just go talk to the people. Yeah, I mean, again, when you can kind of, and I'm pretty Spanish dudes would be like, "Yo, gringo, what's up?" I mean, I'm definitely a white boy, that's for sure. I'm not gonna lie. I do speak some Spanish though, so that always helped. But yeah, I'm definitely a white dude, and in them areas you got to be careful. But yeah, I would just go hang out and do my thing and not even care. Some of the Spanish places to eat at, oh my god, they were so good, like the best food you ever had, and it was so cheap. It'd be like $5. You get this huge meal with all this rice and chicken, and it was like the best food ever. I used to love it. That used to be my favorite part, was just going to all the little bodegas and eating. But I probably wouldn't do that now because, like I said, it's just not safe. I just was in that air. I was just in it all the time that it didn't really matter. And again, it becomes a numbers game. And that's when we stopped doing Camden. My dad was just like, you know what? It's getting a little too, it was getting really dangerous. Crazy stuff was happening. Like getting swarmed by cops. That was one of the last times that we were doing inspections in Camden. And my dad was like, let's not do this anymore. We have other opportunities in different towns. Let's do it. That's when we really started doing a lot more of the fire inspections and stuff like that. Because like I said, it just got dangerous. I mean, it was just crazy. And then I went, I was the fire inspector in Camden for like over a decade and a half too. And that wasn't as dangerous, I don't think. They used to drive me around a cop and all that good stuff, but that wasn't as dangerous. When we did the home inspections, that was really dangerous. It was crazy. It was like government funding, and you were going into the fire inspections were rental properties. The home inspections were people that were getting government funding because they couldn't afford to actually fix up their homes. And yeah, we've seen some rough stuff. I'm not gonna lie, and I'm glad that people could have like actually get their homes fixed. Some of the people were just the nicest people, and just they just didn't have anything. And them people, we try to write a little extra for them and get them taken care of. And then some people, holy cow, you'd put this stuff, these contractors, they'd bid on this stuff, guys. They'd put this stuff in this house. We weren't even finalizing these contracts, like finalizing the entire job yet, so the contractors could get paid. This shit was already destroyed. I mean, people would already. I'll never forget. They put a brand new HVAC unit into a house, and then the very next day they went and stole it and took it to a scrapyard. The scrapyard called. They called the city. The city went to the scrapyard and was like, "Yo, if this thing shows up, if this unit, because we just paid to have this installed, you let us know who brought it here." Yeah, the homeowner, the person that lived, not the homeowner, the person that was in the rental on it. Stole the unit and took the whole unit. So yeah, they put an HVAC in. It was crazy, guys. I'm telling you. There's not a story that I couldn't tell you that didn't happen. It was just that wild. But anyway, let's get to our show and let's look at our Michael Anthony list right here. Where is Michael Anthony? I was drawing on, talking about all kinds of crazy stuff. I figured he'd definitely be here. But yeah, Chris, dude, you don't want to, and especially, I don't know when that was, whatever year that was, Chris, when you got lost in Camden at 2 a.m., because you can go over to the concerts over there. They like, the concerts are right there in the middle of like on the water. And then as soon as you leave, you're in the middle of a ghetto. Like you make one long left turn, you're toast. I'm telling you, you could not, you might not go home that night. And yeah, you gotta stay on one street to get on the highway to get out of there. You make any wrong turn, you're like in the middle of like, there's literally like, there's no stop signs, there's no street signs, there's no traffic lights, that's for sure. And as you're driving down there, like you said, there's just all crackheads and hookers and pimps, and it's just crazy stuff. And then you'll be watching them steal cars and everything else, and you're like, oh shit, I'm in the wrong place. But yeah, especially now, Chris, like I said, I don't know when that happened to you, but that's not a place you want to be getting lost at 2 a.m. nowadays. I'll tell you that. You might not, like I said, and it's not even the most dangerous city, but that time at 2 a.m., you do not want to be around there. I'm not going around there. I'll tell you that right now. And I know the streets like the back of my hands and can can usually stay pretty safe. You'll probably get killed. It depends on what you're over there for. I mean, people that are going there to like get drugs and stuff, they do it because the drug dealers don't kill them guys because they want them to keep coming back. And you have to understand that, like, there's opportunities that these dudes could get robbed all the time, but they start to know these dealers all, like, because these people are coming from the suburbs, coming into the city and buying drugs from these guys. And you would assume, like, because I watched it happen my whole life, and just me and my dad, it's funny. You would just know, like, oh, that's a guy out of place. Like, but they would leave them guys alone. They'd come in, they'd get their thing, and they would get out of there. And yeah, the dealers and stuff would never mess with them because, again, they knew that they would be coming back in probably like a couple hours, I'm sure, to give them more money. So it was an interesting concept. But yeah, you would get killed real quick in that area, Chris. And glad you made it out. You made it out all right that night, that's for sure. But let's cruise through and we'll see what's going on here. ABO, that's pulling back Michael Anthony's stock right there. DLO, the down low one, was DL today. That was pulling back. I did look at that. I did look at his list. UEC was down a little bit, and that Tiger was not doing so great today either. I know that. And then your PD was pulling back. Michael Anthony's list was actually pulling back right there today, unfortunately. And let's see what else is going on with our Jolie's Jams. Will cruise right through rhythm right here. That one was up, and I'm telling you, these cannabis stocks are starting to look good. I know MSOS was down today, but they do look pretty good. Tilray was dipping down a little. Maybe they're going to pull back. They were looking pretty good this morning. I know that. I did look at them. And then there's your Canopy Growth. All of them pulled back a little. I'll have to look at them tomorrow. They looked all right this morning, so I'll take a better look at them. And then here's your Blink. That's just been beaten down right here. Just waiting for it to get set up. It did pull back there today as well for BLNK. And let's see what Sezzle's up to. Oh, that's a good pullback right there for Sezzle. I mean, we nailed this thing right here. Holy cow, we nailed that pop right there on Sezzle. That was a beautiful play right there. And then just to watch it pull back, that just reassures you of why you lock in those profits every single time, because things like that, Sezzle, was a good opportunity when it ran up, and it's been pulling back. Sterling was pulling back today. I did see that, but it is touching support, and you know that thing likes to bounce pretty good. And Rivian was down with Lucid today. Lucid had their investor thing or whatever you call it, and it came way down. I don't think people like it. What does it say? Unveiled their sub $50,000 Cosmos and Earth SUVs or something like that. I don't even know what they're talking about. They had an investor thing, so I'm guessing that they released some new models right there for Lucid. But yeah, that one and Rivian, both the EV stocks way down today right there. And then your Symbotic was down as well. That had been dipping down the other day. I remember when it pulled back, but that actually could get set up maybe next week. And let's look at our laptop travel list right here. APUS, that was running up and even running more in the after hours, so it could continue to run. I saw AUD running today. I did see this bad boy. It has that resistance. I mean, it could easily get up to that 50 tomorrow around 90. So that one could run up a little bit more for you. And BAOS right here, BAOS or whatever, that's a China one right there. That's an interesting look in the after hours. It was flat today, but interesting in the after hours. I'd have to look at that one in the morning probably. CYCU, let's see what CYCU is doing. Now, that one looks pretty good. That looks like it could continue up right there. And this is one of the dogs ones, DOGZ, whatever it is, DOGZ, Dogness right here. And we looked at all these dog ones like a couple weeks ago, and that one is running up a little bit. That should continue up. That doesn't look too bad right there, laptop trial. Is this the other dogwood or dog one? It's called dogwood. I don't even know. I guess I knew it was that because I said the dogwood. I meant to say the other dog one, and I said the other dogwood. But yeah, it is Dogwood Therapeutics. We looked at this the other day too with these dog ones, and then that one looks pretty good as well. So maybe the dogs are going to get out running again. And your Freight Technologies right here. Let's see what this is doing. That was running up. That could keep some good momentum tomorrow. Wasn't that one like a I don't even know. FRGT. I thought that was like a shipping one before, but I have no idea. Maybe I'm off on that. FTRK, but that isn't looking bad. Fast track right here. Remember we said it has a fast track to go up the other day? That is curling up. That does look like it's in the channel. Gonna slow. Maybe it's a slow track to go up now, but it is looking pretty decent to continue up. HYPD, Hyper and DeFi or something like what is it called? A Hyper and DeFi, something like that. It just has that weird look like it one. I think that does want to go up a little bit more. It just has a strange look. I don't know. I'd have to look at that one probably tomorrow. And IMCC, it's called I Am Cannabis. I don't even think they do anything in the cannabis industry anymore, to be honest with you. I have no idea what they do. I have to look. Maybe they do still. I have no idea. I thought they actually didn't. Let's see. Knowledge Tech. I guess they do something in the cannabis industry still. Huh. Interesting. For some reason, I thought that they like actually didn't do anything in the cannabis industry, but I guess they do. IMCC right there. There's a cannabis one running though. There he is. Look at him, Michael Anthony. Right on. There you go, Michael Anthony. You missed a great show already. I mean, telling you all kinds of great stories. We're going through our laptop travel list. Say hello to everybody, Michael Anthony, and IMCC SOS right here. Michael Anthony needs to send out an SOS right now. That's actually curling. That has a crazy look right there with all them red candles, but curling up. That's a weird look, but I don't know. I do like that look right there. And swag right here. What is that? Strand and Company. That could run up some more right there. Laptop travel. Some of these are looking pretty good right here. And you grow. You just had this one on there yesterday, right? Look at that. That did grow up there today. Looks like it could grow some more. And what is this? VGAS, I guess. Verde Clean Fuels. And that looks pretty good too. There you go. Laptop travel. Some good ones right there. And let's look at our Luis Rodriguez list and see what's going on with the ones that Luis Rodriguez likes. We might have looked at some of them already, but we'll go through them anyway. And SGN, that signing day sport, this thing's been ripping, guys. Holy cow. Well, we looked at Lewis. We looked at this thing like down in the 40s, right? Yeah, down in the 40s, this SGN. Holy cow, right there. That one's just been ripping along like nonstop every day. And T-Pet right here is that small cap Trio Petroleum oil and gas. I mean, that looks good for tomorrow. I'm not going to lie. And UMAC, we were talking about the UMAC show. It's been one this week. It's been running up. It looks like it's going to run up some more tomorrow. And this is an energy one, Centrus Energy. That looks good. LEU. That could keep some good momentum tomorrow. LEU right there. I do like that look. And let's see what else is on your list. Oxy right here. This was running up. We were talking about this today. That's looking pretty good right there. And ONDS is looking great today. And that should get cruising tomorrow. I think ONDS gets flying, guys. I have some calls on that. I mentioned it in the Discord, and I was swinging some ASTS, or I was scalping some ASTS. I've been doing it for the last couple of days. It's been a good one. I mean, and like I said, maybe tomorrow it is hitting down right here, but maybe that pops off. We'll see what it looks like in the morning for ASTS. Maybe I'll play it the entire week. That would be hilarious. And so yeah, there you go. Pick one and stick with it, I guess. And SPRC, I forget what that's called. Spark right there. Now that looks like it has some opportunity. Luis Rodriguez. It looked like it was going down the after hours, but looks good on that chart right there. SPRC. It does still look good. I have to look at that tomorrow. I'm going to write that down over here to look at in the morning as well. And then Orbs. What is that one? ORBS. Is that like crypto one? Oh, wow. Look at that. 8Co Holdings. We had that on our list before. That thing's trying to actually run. This thing's been beaten down pretty well. ORBS. So, yeah, we got to watch for that guy, too. And let's see what EU is doing right here. Encore Energy. That's actually looking pretty good right there for EU. Not familiar with that energy one, but that's looking pretty nice right there. And there you go with Michael Anthony, or with Luis Rodriguez's list. And Michael Anthony was saying SNDL, that is a cannabis stock as well. And they do beverages and all that good stuff. So there you are. And I'm familiar with them. What did you say? Is a pot one and other items get you high report earning. There you go. Did they have earnings today? They might have. Yep. They look like they did. And profitability and free cash. Maybe I'll do my I'll do my high on Wall Street on them this week, maybe on their earnings, probably. So maybe I'll do that and I'll post a video for you, Michael Anthony. How about that? And your PAGs got destroyed today, Michael Anthony. You sold at 10:30 the day before the big fall today. If you had a feeling about today or something like that, yeah, that was a big dip right there. And we were telling Brazil ones, but I don't know. Them Brazil ones took a beating. You know what else, Michael Anthony? Your Palantir keeps going up right here. It's not going towards that 120 right there. I don't know. It definitely hit that 160, and now it's still cruising along. So, well, I'll be keeping an eye on Palantir. That's always a fun one to look at. And let's go ahead and look at our Mag 7 and big caps and all them guys. The SPY was down great, and it looks like it's pulling back more. Your Qs were down big, and they look like they're pulling back more. And then what about your IWM was down as well, and that looks like it's taking a nice dip. So there you go with them. And then your Apple right here was down. Amazon, remember I was saying they didn't look good at all. That's probably why. Google right here was struggling. That pulled back right there. And then Meta was like the only one that had looked good, but that pulled back pretty well too today. And then your Microsoft, that was not looking so great. It looked better yesterday, as a matter of fact. Nvidia right here, that was down too. And then your Tesla, yeah, Nvidia was down. Tesla looked good this morning, guys. I remember looking at it, but that took a nice dip too. And there you go. It's your Mag 7. AMC right here. If I could type anything, AM's an oil and gas one. Check that out. That's a US. Look at that thing's been running up there. Looks like it's about to pull back, though. I don't know. But AMC right there, that one's pulling back as well. GameStop was pulling back today, too. Unity and Unity and what's the other one called? Chewy right here. They weren't doing so great today either. They were both down. Netflix, let's see, that was down as well. You want to see what Paramount was up to? It was still down. And Warner Brothers right here was pulling back pretty big. Wow, look at that big dip on Warner Brothers. Holy cow. I think they probably wish that Netflix took the deal, I bet. Anyway, let's see what is our semiconductors. They were down too. AVGO, MU was bouncing around today, but pulling back right there. And let me see, AMD right here. That one was down. SMCI, that was pulling back. And TSM was also down a lot today. Look at that big dip right there, Luis Rodriguez. Holy cow. These things getting absolutely destroyed. And QCOM coming down. Snow looks like it was coming down as well. It was coming down today. It was 80 degrees yesterday. Snow was coming down today in New Jersey. I told you guys it was going to snow last night. And then when it was 80 degrees, Luis Rodriguez thought I was insane. It snowed today, Luis. I told you it was going to. And there you go. So, and it did come down right there. PayPal dipped pretty good. That looks like it might be getting rejected and coming down at the moment. And then your Intel right here was coming back down some more after it popped up there. And Dell actually was up. Holy cow. Are we not on the money with Dell right there? And Dell looks good, guys. Dell looks like it could continue to run up. And that's one of the very few ones. IBM right here was pulling back some. That's been dipping down a little bit. I thought it was going to try to get set up. And like I said, Palantir not looking too bad. Your Sophie right here was down, though. That looks like it's going to pull back a little bit more. And then your SanDisk, let's see what that's up to. Up SNDK, I think. That was down pretty good today, too. And that looks like it's going to dip down some more. So, yeah, Adobe got taken out in its earnings. That went down. And then your Oracle right here, that was dipping as well today. So there you go. At Oracle pulling back. MicroStrategy, not so great. And then, of course, your Hood and Coinbase and these guys, these were all pulling back too. There's Coinbase dipping down. Bull hasn't been very good lately either. And that's in the 520s now. So there you are with Bull. And Space now. This one. How to close. It was just bouncing around right there. I'm telling you, that thing's getting set up right there. Good old SPCE. That looks pretty good. I was saying it the other day. Boeing right here was down again. Holy cow. Look at that get destroyed. LMT, though. Look at this thing trying to get crawled back up. Northrop Grumman. These were down earlier, and then they tried to pop back up at the end. So there you go with them ones. But Boeing, whoa, what happened to Boeing? I'm not even sure. Well, their jet deliveries hit their highest level. And wow, that's a big dip there on Boeing. And let's see what else is going on. DJT right here was down today. Remember, I didn't think that was running up. And then that Nike right there was pulling back pretty big also, and Lulu came down pretty big. So both of them took a big dip. McDonald's was pulling back some more as well. We'll see if that tries to get turned around. Disney was down, and that's not looking so good. And Oxy was up today. And DXYZ, wasn't that down? That was down as well. So there you go, everybody. That's our list. Let me see what else you guys want to see here. I don't know where I stopped at. There's a lot of messages, but I'll go through and see. PD was dipping. Hold on. I know we were there. And let's see, SJM, we were talking about that. I know we were talking about ABEV and Disney was cracking. We said that. And then, of course, we were talking about good old Campbell soup, but it's not good Campbell soup. It's pretty terrible soup. But we were talking about that, and it is loaded with salt, and it doesn't even taste good. I think Wawa soup tastes better than Campbell's, and Wawa chicken noodle soup is garbage. So, yeah, I don't know what the hell these companies are doing. Besides feeding you a bunch of nonsense, that's what they're doing. I don't even think it's soup. It's just like man-made shit. It's like crap. I'm not even gonna. It's like crap in a can. It's crazy. Let's see, and let's see. If you look at a 10-year chart for Disney, you'll see a story of taking 2 steps forward and 2 steps back right there. Well, let's look at it, Luis Rodriguez. I gotta look at this. I have to go out to the right there. And you said 10 years, so all the way to here. And it did. It did run up, and then it did run down. You're right. It certainly did. You're not kidding. That's pretty wild, Luis Rodriguez. Good observation right there. That's for sure. And let's see what else is going on. Dead money ascent. Yeah, it's clearly it's just dead money right there. Disney, they're not really doing anything crazy. Imagine having your money tied up for 10 years and it does nothing. That's exactly what would have happened. You would have ran it up and ran it back down to right where you were. IQST. Let's see. Looks like a dark horse could implode or shoot up out of nowhere. Good revenue, but dubious, I think that word is. Past burning investors with reverse splits. Yeah, them damn reverse splits, Chris, they will get you every time. We were talking about that earlier. And I was saying, I've been burnt by plenty of them. I can promise you that. Yeah, I'd have to keep an eye on that. That's just kind of hanging out. Maybe it gets into this channel and gets rolling right there. IQST. So we'd have to watch that bad boy. IQ Stel or something. Telecom services, it says. And let's see, 1038 to 105. For Disney, I guess. Oh no. Historically been a strong floor for SJM, you're saying. I forgot what that was doing. I know we looked at it like 7 times today, and I just keep forgetting every time I look at it. That's JM Smucker. And what did you say? 103 to 105. All right. Well, then we're right about there. And that's these coffee. Well, I'm telling you, there's something going on with coffee, guys. It's going to get exploding. So we know this is going to happen early, guys. Keep us on the game. Luis Rodriguez, Laptop Travel, and Chris, and all of you guys, keep us on focus on coffee. It's going to explode. I'm telling you right now, this thing's going to pop. Let's not just watch it pop and do nothing about it. Let's do something about it this time. So, yeah, we're going to watch these bad boys, see if these want to get turned around like Starbucks and stuff. I don't know. They could still pull back and try to find some. I'm going to do some more research and see what we can find. Michael Anthony, how do you trade coffee? You told us how to trade something before. I don't remember what the hell it was, but you did tell us how to trade something. Was it sugar? I don't know. How do you trade this, Michael Anthony? How the heck do you trade this thing? Like, what do you do to trade this coffee on the stock market? Tell us how to do this. And you told us how to do a different one before. I forget. This thing's going to explode. Look at it, Michael Anthony. If you want something that's going to pop, it's coffee right here. Okay. So how do we trade coffee? I have no idea. Besides like Starbucks, we already went through all them bad boys. We don't need to look at them. We need to look at like coffee producers and growers or something. I don't even know, but we need something like that. And let's see what else. Let me see what else is going on right here. Cracker Barrel. Let's see. With activist investor Elliott Management. I think you're still talking about that. What was something you were talking about? Something, Luis Rodriguez, and I completely lost. Oh, SJM. That's one you're talking about. So there you are. And Let's see. Cracker Barrel, what did you say? Directly affected by higher fuel costs as they are often a highway located right. Yeah, you're absolutely right there. They certainly are. And well, that's what I was saying. Something you could see it. It needed to pop right there. And now it's getting beat up. But you know what happened, Laptop Travel, as I explained earlier. This is why the companies can't make bad decisions. Like their CEO did. I can't type. The CEO can't make decisions. Like I can't because look, when this happens and you come up here and then the CEO gets really woke and then the company just dips down for months and then you have that opportunity to start popping and it looked really good. But the next thing you know, a war breaks out and you just never know when a war is going to break out with Iran. And now oil prices are jacked up and everything else. They're going to miss that opportunity and end up in that basement. And then it's going to be hard to recover because then your trend line is going to be coming down. You're going to end up in a bearish state and this thing's going to end up being a mess. And that is why I was saying earlier, it's important. Same thing with Campbell's. And this is why these companies can't afford to do these kinds of things and make mistakes like that at high levels like this, because it just almost destroys the entire company with one decision like that. You can't be doing dumb things like that. And now they're suffering and they might get beat on from this because again it should have popped right here. I agree, going into the spring or the warmer weather, and it's not going to. And we'll see if it will. We'll be tracking it down, but yeah, it's interesting right there. But that's what I talked about before, why these companies can't afford to do that kind of stuff, because you just never know. And again, everything based right off of the stock chart right there. You can see it. So they had the opportunity, they had the momentum, they had things going right, it seemed like. And when the market's not moving in your direction and you're not getting customers, because like you said, oil's up, people aren't traveling as much, whatever the case is, it affects them directly. And then the next thing you know, it just smashes them down at a critical spot when they should be popping up and really need to be popping up, to be honest with you. So Kroger right here is up. Grocery stores. Let's see what other grocery stores are looking good here, guys. ACI, that looks like it could run. DDL, not so good. There's Donut. That's Krispy Kreme. That's not no one's buying donuts, and no one's going to grocery outlet right there. But IMKTA, something like that. Ingles Markets looks good. Kroger's looks good. This one doesn't look bad. That Mason Solutions or something. NGVC, that's not looking too bad. Sprouts right there looking pretty good. SFM. That's new. VHB. I'd have to look at that as a move. VLGEA or something like that. Village. And WMK. That looks good. Whoa, what is Wise doing or something? Is that Wise something? I don't even know how to say that, but now that one looks good, Michael Anthony. Let's put WMK on there. Now that's looking good. WMK looking nice right there, I must say. So we'll keep that Wise Markets on there. That looked like it bottomed out. It's curling up. It should pop up there on that curl up. So there you go. And let's see, Kroger, rotation in the consumer staples right there, huh, Luis Rodriguez? I like it. And let's see, consumer staples would obviously be like all these guys right here. So yeah, well, coffee's going to run. I know that. That's all I know. Coffee's going to run. I don't even drink it, but coffee's going to go up. And yeah, give us some good consumer staples companies too, guys. All these ones that are getting set up. Let's pick out these sectors ahead of time, like coffee. Let's make our game plan and let's attack it. When we know these things are going to get rocking and rolling, there's no reason why we're not taking advantage of all this stuff every single moment of the market. So we're going to take advantage of it. XLP right here, that's one of them. All right, I'll keep an eye on this guy right here. And it's not set up just yet there, Luis Rodriguez. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it and see when it gets ready. And let's see, I was telling you guys all about Camden. That's a crazy place. And consumer staples, because when the going gets tough and fuel costs high, people will hunker down and just buy food. Sure. That's all you're going to be able to afford, especially when your gas and energy bill is like $800 a month and then everything else. And now it's probably going to go up even higher, I'd imagine. I don't know. I'm not a rocket scientist, but I think it's going to go higher. I don't know how it can go higher, but it probably will somehow. and yeah, it'll be crazy. So yeah, I think people are just going to be able to afford food at this moment. Laptop travel with things going crazy. PD pager duty going down in SNDL we were talking about, and PAGs we talked about, and high tide or whatever, HITI, high tide. This is another one right there, cannabis. And again, I'm keeping an eye on all them guys right there. So I'll be watching for that. MM and Shorts rug pulled you for 2 weeks after big drop. Had to average down to catch a few G in green, but wasn't worth the stress of being blood red down in the gutter. Yeah, Unity, that one got destroyed there, but did pop up. Isn't it? Or Chewy? Yeah, Unity did pop up, not Chewy. Or did Chewy too? I forget. But yeah, it did pop up a little bit right there for Unity, and it's just kind of bouncing around right there now, Chris. And yeah, it doesn't look perfect. Let's put it that way. Bitcoin trading 72 now. Look at this thing just ripping, guys. I was in 71.6, but yeah, look at that thing ripping Ethereum. So yeah, Bitcoin cruising along, everybody. And we were saying it at the beginning of the show. Everybody was on here listening and piled in the Bitcoin, and people will be driving less. That won't be going to McDonald's every day now. And look at PAG's news after the close. What was their news after the close? I have no idea. I just know it went down today. No clear catalyst identified for today's sharp decline. No, that's what I say. What was the news, Michael Anthony? I don't know. I have no idea. Just told me there's no catalyst for today's decline. And WEAT, is that how we trade coffee right here, Michael Anthony? And we do think Disney will keep dropping. I do agree with that. Is this coffee? No, this is wheat. This is the one you told us about before. Yeah, you're right. How do we trade coffee, though? Does anybody know how to trade coffee? What's this say? Java. Now this one, now we're getting somewhere. What is this? Java. Coffee Holding Company. What is that? Java. Now we're getting somewheres, I think. Cafe, this Cafe Supremo, all these things. What services? Custom blending. All right, now this is what we're looking for, guys. Something like this. Java. This is what we need. Let me write this bad boy down, Jay. It doesn't look perfect yet, but we're keeping an eye on that right there for JVAA or JVA. I mean, let me see what else comes up when I write that. Coffee. Black Rock Coffee Bar. What is that? That's a restaurant. We don't want that. Let's see what else comes up here. Reborn Coffee. Wasn't that just running the other day? That's right. That did pop up there the other day. I remember that. It's pulling back now. Oh, and don't type in just coffee. I was trying to get to there's another one. West Rock one right there. And that's another one. Oh, that one's looking good too. All right. So JVA and West is looking good right there. That one might go north. This WEST, this might go up north right now. This is looking pretty decent. We'll keep an eye on that. Let me see that set up for the next day or so. And that could be a good one too. West Rock Coffee Company right there. I don't want to do that. Let's go. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, they got all kinds of good stuff. But anyway, there you go. We don't need to look at the website. And there you are with some coffee. We'll be looking at that. Might not be a bad idea to short the queues late Friday afternoon. Weekends during a conflict are tough on equities. And yeah, short, not short. And Brazil has more coffee than anyone. That trade 271,000. That I'm not sure how coffee is traded. You don't know how coffee's traded, huh? Hit the coffee chart on FinViz. That gives you info. Yeah, we did do that, Michael Anthony. And now we need to find coffee's going to blast off, but I don't know how to find like all the different coffee companies that like you can kind of trade that aren't like Starbucks and stuff. I don't really care about Starbucks and things like that. But anyway, I'll figure out some more. At least we got two. JVA and West looks like it wants to go north, so that should be a good one right there. So we'll be keeping an eye on that. And we have some jingles on the X. All right, we'll end the show with some jingles tonight, guys. How about that? Hit the more button on PAGS. Gives you more information. No, it didn't. It didn't give me anything. It just said it did, but it said available reports show the stock trading down. Blah blah blah. That was too much for me. I just read this. It still said no clear catalyst, and then all that, Michael Anthony. You're on your own to read that. I can't read that. I mean, that's way too much for me to try to read, and I can't even see them letters. That's all. That all just blends together. They need to put that in like bold, different text and different colors and everything else. If you want me to read that much, anyway. And anyone tuned in knew I just can't read well after I got hit in the head, so my reading is not the best. That's why you can hear me. I struggle when I read sometimes, but you guys can laugh. I don't care. Have a good laugh. Actually, it's good for you. Definitely laugh. It's actually kind of comical that I can't read, because I could definitely read pretty well before, and now I can't read anything. So I laugh about it. So you guys might as well too. Starbucks, like I said, these things, I don't know. I can't. I don't know if like Starbucks. We already looked at Dutch Bros. We went through all the coffee ones that are like that, and like I said, they're pulling back because they might be losing customers because nobody's going out to buy anything. I wanted companies like this one, like this West. Like these people make coffee. Like this is a coffee company right here, and look at it. It's getting set up right there. Like these guys actually know how to. Their capabilities. Let's see. Yeah, they know how to do coffee, like flavors, extracts, like ready to drink coffee right here. Let's see. Mastering private label. See, like stuff like this, I think might get cruising. And private label, coffee sourcing, custom blends, all kinds of crazy stuff. Should we call them up and ask why we should work with them? They say they're the #1 coffee supplier to U.S. restaurants and C-stores. And they have 35 million pounds in digitally traceable coffee, whatever that means. That looks all right, though. What is that? That looks pretty good. I don't know. I don't even like coffee, but that looked pretty decent. Anyway, there you go, guys. I'm going to keep an eye on this West right here. That could be a good one. And let's see what else is going on. I think we read the news stories. Yeah, the Asian stocks track U.S. declines with oil. Oil drops as U.S. issues licenses. What? Oil drops after U.S. issues license for countries to buy Russian oil stranded at sea for 30 days. Huh. I don't even know what that means. What did they say in there? Oil drops after the U.S. issues license for countries. Oh, I guess people can buy oil from Russia that are stranded at sea for 30 days, something like that. I don't know. You guys probably made sense out of it. I didn't. Asia Pacific markets tumble as investors brace for the prolonged war. We talked about that. And I think we had mentioned all these already because I remember we looked at the bonds at the beginning. So there you go. Yeah, crypto looks pretty good, guys. That's about it. And shorting down the Qs, oil going up and all that good stuff right there. So that's what's going on over there. Let's go see some jingles right here. Let's end our show with some jingles. Wow, it's already after 10 o'clock. We did after over 2 hours. I was telling you guys some fun stories about my life today and inspections and police and everything else. And there you go. So let's see what's going on here, Luis Rodriguez. And let's see, breaking news. Trump removes sanctions on Russia to help oil flow. So that'll make oil pop up there. So let me retweet that there. Good old laptop travel. And do we have a micro strategy one? Here we go, guys. I think we might have a micro strategy jingle here. Let's see what micro strategy saying. It looks like MSTR. Let's see. You guys ready? I gotta turn it up.
Yeah, forget the old ways, I'm on a new mission. Stacking Bitcoin heavy with zero competition. MSTR, that's the ticker, my financial vision. We going up a strategic decision.
I had no idea.
Growing my wealth, no
he has auto-tune on.
MSTR, the alpha's position. MSTR, the alpha's position.
There you go, everybody. MicroStrategy, Sayer. Doing some rap. Oh, we got a coffee one already? Holy cow, Luis Rodriguez, you're fast. Coffee one already? I gotta listen to this one.
We've seen the market's wild rotation, but found our solid foundation. No risky plays or brand new fads. This love's the greatest wealth we've had. We're going all in on consumer staples. A lifetime of our joyful fables. A love to last, our consumer staples. Yeah, our consumer staples.
Yeah, consumer staples, everybody. How you like that? Let's see what else we have. We have one here. SJM even has their own jingle.
Big tech.
Hold on. Here we go. You guys ready? Oh, Michael Anthony gave us some info. J.O. We'll get on that in a minute there, Michael Anthony.
Darlings fell apart, took a little tumble to my heart. The price dipped down to 93, but that sweet dividend's good to me. Oh, that JM Smucker stock, steady as an old grandfather clock. Elliot's knocking, making a fuss, but this...
Oh, man. I thought it was going to get messed up because I didn't see the thing on there. Hold on. Now
big tech darlings fell apart, took a little tumble to my heart. The price dipped down to 93, but that sweet dividend's good to me. Oh, that JM Smucker stock, steady as an old grandfather clock. Elliot's knocking, making a fuss, but this old boat's got room for us. So let them have their high-flying game. I'll be right here making jam again. Yeah, making jam again.
Yeah, making jam. Anyone ever make like blueberry jelly or
Big
anything?
tech darlings fella.
That's a lot of fun. Here you go. Here's another one, guys. This one was at the beginning of the show. This one's a good
Tonight on Dougie Fresh
I heard
Picks
this
live
one.
show.
Let's get you fired up right here.
Fertilizer, stocks, oil, and drones, yeah. Michael Anthony's pearls of wisdom will be flowing. Don't miss Laptop Travel's watch list and Luis Rodriguez's top picks.
That's right.
It's the best darn stock show out there. So,
I'd say.
Come on and tune in!
Yeah, everybody. Come on and tune in. There you go. A couple jingles right there. How about that? And let's see what else is going on over here. Oh, wait. Michael Anthony gave us something. I forgot. J.O. Let's see. No, there is no J.O. There's a J.O. Let's see. That's Joe B. That's Joe. Now, Joe should be one, but it's a real estate company. That would make sense if Joe was one. They call Coffee Joe. And what else? I just don't see anything here. I have no idea. KDP is spinning off coffee company, then buying another coffee company. Who's KDP? Oh, Keurig right here. We looked at this already too, and that was dipping down already. So we had checked all them coffee plays out. I had asked ChatGPT earlier, Michael Anthony, before you hopped on there. So there you go. I would say that's a fun market review, even though that's a pretty red market. Looks like your Qs are coming down, your SPY, your market's coming down. But who knows now? Because now you can buy oil off of Russian and out at sea for 30 days. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? But it did look like it wanted to dip down, that's for sure. And Asian stocks, they just keep sliding. So we may watch for that KORU to be shorted down some more tomorrow. That could be a good one. It looks like if it gets through here, it's going way down right there. So we'll be watching for that. KORU and the rest of the market. We'll look and see what everything's doing at 7 a.m. because you guys know we'll be on for our pre-market show and we'll go through it all, pick out what the winners are going to be, and hopefully play them accordingly and play them smart and trade and lock in those profits and all that good stuff on a Friday because it is tough to hold things over the weekend, especially in the middle of a war. And then you have Trump going, yeah, I'll just lift the sanctions off of oil on Russia for 30 days so that we can drop the prices and make the market bounce around. Bitcoin's running. Crypto's looking pretty good. So it's a crazy market out there, everybody. And we do have a bunch of a good list right here. And the airlines look like they were dipping down pretty good. We're going to watch for them guys to get turned back around. So there you go, everyone. Greatly appreciate everybody hanging out. Doge Mama 9, she liked the jingles tonight. So there you go. And I still have to go ahead and get some of them jingles, the original ones like Doge Mama 9, and save them to the StreamYard so that I can just play them whenever I want to because I'm going to do that. So I'll do that. this weekend, Friday and this weekend, and get things set up for that and make the show even a little bit better. How about that? And I think I got everything here. Luis Rodriguez, Michael Anthony, of course, Chris Abate. Thanks for hanging out, dude. Is it Chris? What is it? Chris Chris Labate, maybe? I don't know. Chris, maybe it's Chris Elabate. I'm not exactly sure, Chris. I'll call you Chris. How's that? And Chris was here from Colombia, guys. He was hanging out again. We miss Chris. We had mentioned him not too long ago. I said, I wonder where that guy Chris is from Colombia. And here he is. He's here tonight. So there we go. We had a special guest from Chris. Yeah, Michael Anthony. I forgot to even tell you when you came on. Chris is here from Colombia, dude. That's the guy you wanted to go hang out with in Colombia. You were like, yo, what's that guy's address? I'll basically have a plane ticket tomorrow. And Chris right now, unfortunately, Michael Anthony, he has a house, a whole entire place in Colombia right now filled with hot Colombian chicks. I don't think he has any room for you at the moment, Michael Anthony. So unfortunately, you might miss out on Chris's party today and this weekend. So I'll have to get you his address so you can show up for the next function, and Chris will make sure he has a spot for you. How's that? You guys can go over, what was that one? What was the what was the one that you talked about? ABEV or something. Yeah, ABEV. Michael Anthony, you mentioned that the other day, and Chris mentioned ABEV tonight. So there you go. You guys can sit back, have a beverage, and speak about ABEV. Do they pay dividends? I think you did say it paid dividends. Michael Anthony's in. You know it's paying dividends. You know it's 2-cent dividend right there. You guys can talk about that and all that good stuff. He said. Chris, that's great, right? I know Michael Anthony is just like, what just happened? Chris has a whole house full of hot Colombian chicks, and you don't have no room for me. Look, there you go. And I can get the best rooms in now by taking a few thousand. Yeah, you can. I would say so, Michael Anthony. We already learned that. You go over to I told you, Chris, Michael Anthony's ready, dude. He's ready to come over to Colombia and hang out. That's for sure. And I bet you guys would become great friends and have a great time. I bet Michael Anthony would be like, I'm telling you, I'd probably have to fly out to Colombia to videotape it, because I think Michael Anthony would be a new hit TV show. Michael Anthony in Colombia. Michael Anthony stock picks in Colombia. How about that? How about Michael Anthony shorting Palantir in Colombia with hot Colombian chicks? That sounds like a good show right there, guys. We could do something like that. And so there you go. And what did he say? He said those chicks would be all over me that take they're out to wine and dine. See, I told you, Chris, I wasn't kidding. Michael Anthony, I mean, he's literally ready to hop on a flight and get to Colombia before we can even exit this show. He will be at the airport. I'm not even kidding. He already took out the money from the last time you were on the show, Michael or Chris. He was already ready, prepared, has his suitcase packed just in case this moment came up again. He's ready to take a flight and hop over to Colombia. He's got his passport. He's ready. He said he'd take his jet. See? I told you, he's ready, guys. Michael Anthony ain't messing around, Chris. So you guys should link up and let me know. I'll come out to Colombia's with you and hang out. I bet it would be a fun time. I bet somehow it would be like one of the craziest trips ever if somehow we didn't even know each other except for this show, and we all three of us just went to, oh, you're already there, Chris. But if me and Michael Anthony went to Colombia to hang out with Chris, I could only imagine that would be a wild show right there. For some reason, I don't even know Michael Anthony. I don't even know what he looks like. I only know he's a cartoon character. That's about it. I know he looks like this with a hat on. That's about it, guys. That's all I know. And Chris, we could tell kind of what he looks like right there. And but yeah, I have a feeling it would be a really crazy trip for some reason. I don't know why, but I just have a feeling it would be wild. But there you go. That's my take on it. And yeah, you guys got to link up. That's for sure. And BRCC, let's see. That's a coffee on a deep red buy. Let's see. BRCC packaged goods. Let's see what they do. Black Rifle Coffee. Whoa, look at them. They do have some coffee right there. Black Rifle Coffee. That sounds scary. Let's see. It's a little bit of pullback, but guess what? That I would watch for some pullback on there. BRCC. I'm gonna add that to the list with West right there. I'd say I like that one, Chris. So that is looking good. And Luis Rodriguez, you wrote BRCB, and that's at Black Rock Coffee Bar. We did look at that, and that could run too. I don't know what the heck it is. That's a restaurant though, and yeah, I guess this is a restaurant somewhere. I have no idea, but they do sell some coffee somewhere. Wait, caffeine on demand? What, they have an app? What is this, a coffee thing? I don't even know what the heck this is. What is this thing? In Arizona, Colorado, I guess they do have some stores all over. Not over here. They're more in the Texas and West Coast area there. So they are some stores right there, but there you go. And yeah, we'll have to look up some coffee because I'm telling you, it's getting ready to run. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We'll figure this out so that next week we can get into these plays and play them accordingly when we know we're early and we know that they're going to run. This is what we should be doing: thinking clear, trading smart, locking in them profits after they pop up, and then just taking the next one out and the next sector, the next rotation, and knocking that one out the park. So that's what we're going to look to do right here and get a little more focused, I think. And Michael Anthony said, what did you say? We need to take about 50,000 with us to buy up coffee. That buying 50,000 pounds will make a mint. Yeah, do they have? Oh, yeah, they have plenty of coffee. Wait, Chris, you're in Colombia. They have like a ton of don't they have Colombian coffee, like tons of it over there? You should be like raising a coffee field right now or something. I'm telling you, this coffee looks incredible to run. You said the futures are green off of, or did they go green from? Yeah, they are green. Look at that. Dow 0.41, S&P's up, and NASDAQ's up a little bit right there, 0.29. Your Russell's up. Cocoa's down. Cocoa beware right there. That looks like it's going down a little bit, but that coffee looks wild. What about our cotton there? That's all right. The VIX has got red all of a sudden. Yeah, things turned around real quick, that's for sure. And Bitcoin's running up. So maybe sure. That's the problem. You can't even do things overnight because you just never know in this crazy ass market. These Qs, look, they're probably bouncing back up already, I bet. And yeah, this is going to be a wild one, that's for sure. Yeah, they are green right there, Michael Anthony. I guess just from Trump saying that he's going to not do the oil or whatever the heck I said. What did I even say? Trump's oil thing. You can buy Russian oil for 30 days or something. Whatever it was. I have no. Here it was. U.S. stocks. Oh, no, that isn't it either. Anyway, whatever I said. I forget what I said. I don't even know where that was. Where did I read that at? I have no idea. Was that over here? I don't know where I read that at, guys. I don't know. Where did I see that at? Where the heck did I see that news at? I have no idea. Where did I see that Trump was letting Russia, whatever, for 30 days? Was that over here and I don't see it again? I have no idea. Oh, yeah, I don't see it right there either. Oh, well, we definitely saw it somewhere. That's all. Oil down a little is why, yeah, I guess oil is going to be dipping down if he's letting people buy Russian oil out at sea or something for 30 days. So I guess we're going to really have to see how this market opens up. So Michael Anthony, you're probably going to have to hop on at 7 a.m. to see how the market looks while we get on to do our pre-market show. Maybe I'll hop on a few minutes early tomorrow because it looks like it might be a wild Friday right here. Setting up anyway, that's what I would say. So we have to know exactly what's going on, what's going to be our best opportunities, and what our game plan is. So let's get to it tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. And until then, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. Michael Anthony and Chris, I really enjoyed you guys hanging out again this evening. Chris, you got to come back some more. I'm telling you, it's great having you on from Colombia. I know the time change is a little off, but we definitely enjoy Chris, especially when Michael Anthony starts talking about the hot Colombian chicks. It's the best. I'm telling you, that's the greatest. We need to shoot a video of that and get Michael Anthony over there to hang out with you. What do you think about that, Doge Mama 9? You think Michael Anthony's head would explode if he went to Colombia? I think so, to be honest with you. But I think it would be Michael Anthony would go right to heaven. And so, yeah, that's what I could see. Luis Rodriguez and everybody else hanging out. Who else is hanging out here? There's a lot of messages. I can't even scroll through and tell who was here. But everybody that hung out, like Janik is always here, and Zach and Doge Mama 9. Robin listens in all the time, and Progressive G, and so many other people. Joseph Levy, hope you're feeling better. And everybody else that tunes in all the time, you know I greatly appreciate it. And make sure everybody follows along on X, YouTube, Instagram, all that good stuff, and like the show on your way out of here. We'll be back on at 7 a.m. to do our pre-market show. We do this show every Sunday night through Thursday night at 8 p.m. And then we do that pre-market show, which we're doing tomorrow morning. We're going to do that one. We do it every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. And that's always a fun one. We get to pick out what's going to be popping in the morning, see how the market's opening and all that good stuff. So there you go, everybody. I'll put the night note in the Discord. And that was a fun show, a nice 2.5 hour show just about, guys. I didn't even realize it was almost 10:30. I'm just sitting here talking away, I guess. But yeah, I told you all kinds of interesting stories. So I hope you guys enjoyed all that, and I hope you guys enjoyed your evening. Thanks for tuning in, and all information presented here is for educational and informational purposes only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence. And Michael Anthony, hit up Chris from Costa Rica, I almost said. Chris from Colombia, so you guys can link up and you can get out there and hang out with Chris, and that would be great. And we'll have to get some updates from that. So Chris, make sure you tune in some more. We enjoyed you hanging out. And there's another. Well, we got to stop here before we tune it here. We'll end the show on a jingle about coffee, everybody, since Luis Rodriguez just gave us. It's like still uploading right here. Hold on, let me get back here. Let me do that. Put the sound on. All right, we're going to end the show on a jingle about coffee, everybody. Here we go.
The price of beans has had its fall. Now,
oh, what the hell? What did it just do?
All right, the price of beans has had its fall. Now, the rebounds answering the call. Dutch Bros is brewing something new. Starbucks turnaround is coming through. Luckin's moving in the east on a cup of growth, to say the least. Grab your ticker, place your bet. It's the sweetest coffee trade yet. Smucker's got that Folgers ground. That's the richest coffee in this town.
That's a good one, Luis Rodriguez. I think that's dead on the money, because I think the coffee's going to be popping. So we're going to be watching for that, too, as it gets set up for next week and all that good stuff. So there you go, everybody. Thanks again for tuning in. You guys come back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. We'll pick out the poppers, and I'll see you guys then. So enjoy your evening, and I will see you guys in the morning. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks for tuning in.